All right. We should pull that down. Should be. Oh, this looks really messed up. Is that normal? I guess that's normal. Let's do it. Let's make this happen, man. Chat, how we doing? Can we get a 1 if we sound good? If the audio's good? Can we hear the beats in the background? I can hear them. I turned them down on my end big time there. I may have to do it more. I don't know how we do with the beats, man. They kind of start and then they stop and then they come back randomly during the stream. It's just how we do it. It's a tradition. I think that should be affecting it too. Sounds like a good range, though. Sounds like a good range. Let's do it. Let's do this, man. Look, about 9:30. We started the right time. We're good. This Michigan game is crazy. Who said that? Let me get my chat up too. Music. Oh, that was music. What's up, man? No, this game is nuts. I thought it would be over. I was hoping it'd be over. I was like, we're gonna start this. I'm gonna see the ending, and then we go into double overtime. So I'm keeping an eye on the score. Audio sounds good. Okay, awesome, perfect. I'm gonna turn the beats down a little bit. Yes, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna turn this down because it's a little. Let's go like this. I don't know. Can you guys still hear this? Let's go like that. It's a little loud on my end too. I ain't gonna be able to focus at all because they're bopping too much. All right, chat. How we doing? We got John in the building first. My guy John. What I'm gonna do today? We talking D-line. We talking linebackers. What was that? Okay, I thought someone just said something. We're talking D-line, we talking linebackers, but we can really talk anything. I don't know. I don't really have a plan for this at all. I was kind of just going to go through some of the results today of the Combine. I did watch the whole thing. And we'll just talk about this positional group a little bit. Perfect sound. Oh, okay, perfect. Y'all nailed it. Okay, I mean, I nailed it. Okay, perfect. It's good to go because it sounds great on my end too. So maybe it's the same. Maybe y'all getting the same visual. The visual. All right, anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through some of the results today from the Combine, D-line, linebacker. We'll talk through some of those. We can talk other stuff as well, but that's kind of like the main focus. Obviously, the news that I think dropped this morning for Jalen Carter. I mean, we can touch on that a little bit. I've seen a lot of that getting talked about because, and I don't even know the exact details. Like, I listened to a couple people talking about it to try to understand the background of it. So they were racing and it's terrible news. It's really awful news. And I guess this happened. I believe this happened after the national championship. I think that was this year, but it may have been a year ago. I don't have the exact details on this, but I can pull those up. So that's something we can touch on if you want to. We know Carter is a fantastic player. That's horrible news. So we'll see if that affects draft stock or not. I'm not really sure if it will. I don't know, but regardless, that's something we can't touch on. It's just terrible to hear that. I think that was announced today, and I was like, what the heck? So, anyway, with that, it looks like we got a lot of people in the chat. I'm going to shout out to the chat. We got Giovanni in here. We got my man Panda in the building. Matt Greger is in the building. Joe's in the building. Chris. What's up, Chris? Jordy. My man Jordy. You know Jordy's always in here. Charles always in here. My man Brandon. Let's get this. Let's do it. All right, let's do it. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. We can talk through some of these. Chat, I want to get your thoughts as well. If anybody watched the Combine, and maybe this is the first time you're seeing some of these results, we know the results really don't matter that much. Like, these numbers don't mean a ton, but I do think, sometimes when you watch some of these guys, you're like, okay, that makes sense, but maybe that's a little more impressive than I thought. And then maybe other guys, it impresses you when you see certain numbers. We know the drills don't get numbers to them, so there's nothing really for that unless you watched it. But as we go through it, we can talk about some of the specific players, guys that I have personal thoughts on, guys that I've maybe watched, maybe what I saw from them at the Combine. Not everybody that actually performed today I know about, all right? That's something that I'm still learning. I'm still gathering information on these players. So you said the villain hoodie. Hold up. What's the villain hoodie? I saw that headline. Is it about Brad Holmes? I saw the headline about Brad Holmes saying he played the villain. I don't know how he played the villain. I thought he just played the normal. That's what GMs do. That's how they answer questions. I don't know though. But if there is a hoodie, please send me the link because I'm interested. I would like to see what that looks like. All right, let me pull this up on the screen. Where should we start? Let's start with. Ooh, this does not look right. Okay, let me make this a little smaller. Actually, I'll make myself smaller. Let's do that. Boom, there we go. Oh, in the chat? The chat's at the bottom? I never know that it... You know what? I'm putting the chat on the screen. We're putting the chat on the screen. We're going to full screen this thing. Let me center that a little bit. Yeah, let me center that a little bit. Oh, Brad Holmes actually was wearing a villain hoodie. What? Oh, dude, I paid no attention. He was wearing a villain hoodie? Man, look at me. I don't pay any attention, dog. I thought that was just a headline. Cause I thought someone just made that up. I didn't realize he actually had a villain hoodie on. What? Okay, I need to see it. I need to see it. I did not know this. I did not know this. Okay, I missed out. I think what do we start with today? We start with DTs. So we should start there. And DNs, and then we'll go to DNs. Let's start with DTs, though, because that's where we popped off today. We got linebackers as well.
The sky's the limit for Cook, man. He got a lot
Who
of
the heck
talent.
is talking?
I can't wait to see what he does in his
Oh, he's talking. Man, get you know that copyright. Get out of here, man. Yo, we got cornerbacks talk. I did get to see. Have you had a chance to check out? See, I'm not. You're gonna make me try to say his name. I heard it today, so I was like, oh, that's how you pronounce it. Is that even spelled? I know who you're talking about. I haven't had a chance to check him out a little bit. I watched a few of his games, so I have had a chance to check him out. We're gonna talk about him a little bit today because, yes, his numbers were nuts. Honestly, I would say that they're a little bit surprising, but then maybe not, because like as soon as you watch him, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like at least in terms of the 10-yard splits, I don't know if they put those on here. They definitely should. I'm gonna check and see if they do. But that, I was like, okay. Now, yeah, Cancey's kind of fast. When Cancey came up, because I think he was early in the drill. When Cancey lined up, because he went like right after Bresee, I was like, I think that he's gonna have a faster time. I thought he would have a faster time. I thought at least a 10-yard split, because when you watch Cancey, like he just explodes off the line. But the same way that he looks on the field when he runs, he looked like when he ran the 40. Look, that's not, people say I run weird, all right? He runs a little bit like a guy his size would, I feel like. You know, he just, I don't know what that means. That's what that's my takeaway. Let me get the chat over here, actually, because it's going to be difficult for me to flip back and forth. Let me pull it up over here real quick. I thought that would work. I don't think it's going to. Also, why is this? Make sure we're making this work over here. Okay, cool. Let me get that pulled up. My bad, chat. We all over the place. But if I don't have the chat pulled up over here, I'm gonna be trying to stop. Look at the ads. Y'all love the ads. I love the ads. Ads are beautiful. All right, here we go. Okay, cool. I got the chat pulled up. Let me get this off the screen. We're all over the place, man. We are. Okay, yeah, Cancey, no, but Cancey is fast. That dude can move. That dude can definitely move. Turn this up. Hopefully this doesn't, I'm assuming this is gonna die. The interview with Michael Smith. Okay, good luck. I'll check that out. Michael Smith. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna check that out though. Because y'all said that, and I want to see what the hoodie looks like. I need to see it. Jack Campbell. We can talk about some Jack Campbell a little bit as well, because I've watched a lot of Jack Campbell. Actually, weirdly enough, Jack Campbell, first time I got exposed to him, I wasn't even writing reports this year. It was like, as a group, it was probably like October. Like, it was very early. I got to see Jack Campbell very early. I don't know if October is right. It was like right after they played, I think, Michigan. So it was like then was the first time I got to watch him. So I saw him early. But here we go. Let's go through some of these D linemen. So yeah, you guys are talking about Calijah Kancey. His 40 time is fantastic. Here's my thing about Calijah, and I think I'm gonna actually end up doing a video about Kancey, because I've probably watched him more, I wouldn't say more than the other guys, but almost as much as anybody I've seen. Here's what I like. And I think I had the perfect word to kind of give you guys, perfect phrase to kind of sum up what I would say about Calijah Kancey. His pass rush awareness. That's what it is to me. That's what's special to Calijah Kancey to me. And that's actually the difference between him and what I've seen so far of this guy. The name I cannot say, the Northwestern guy that just blew up the combine today. That's one of the differences is, to me, with Kancey, there's an awareness to it. There's a feel to it. There's offensive line, maybe he's going to short set, however he's going to play me, right? Whether he's going to drop, how he's looking to attack me, what their approach is as a team, their sliding protection, what they're looking to do against me. And it may not be immediate, but he kind of feels himself into how he's getting approached. and then it's like, okay, it's on. And now I have a response to that, and I can play you to that. Meanwhile, our guy out of Northwestern, I kind of got the sense of that was maybe a little bit less of the case. Not necessarily to how the offensive lineman was playing him, but to how he almost pass rushed. Like, you see the quickness. You see it off the line. You're like, dude, that guy is nuts. Like, I love those guys, all right? You fall in love with them immediately because when you're off the line that fast, it's like, okay, I want to watch more. But to him, in the pass rush sense, I thought there was times where it was almost like he wouldn't get his legs under him. He was just kind of like going for it, and then he was slowing down any speed to power that he could generate. So he was a little bit more out of control, and I think Kancey just has that kind of pass rush feel to him, which makes him special in that sense to me. We're going to continue to talk about those guys for sure, though. Let me see. I know, the love for Simpson is real. I just think it's one of these things, man, and I get it. Simpson's an awesome athlete. He really is, and he showed out today. He ran like, a couple 4.5s. I think for me, it's just I just don't see us going linebacker that high, and then I'm not sure what I see his role is. That's my biggest question with him. I'm just not sure what he is. And maybe I just need to watch more. Maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is. I just need to see more to really put him in a bucket. I just can't vision his role right now clearly with the Lions. Like, I could, but I don't know what I would necessarily be drafting him for in that sense, right? I don't know if it's worth that high of a pick. I feel like I need to know what the clear vision is for him, and I don't know if I have that right now. Yeah, I did. So he broke Aaron Donald's 40 time. Fantastic. And because I think it was the official score that actually broke it, right? The 4.67, the official time. I did see that pop up. Oh, I didn't mean to click on this. Okay, go back. That's not. I didn't know that was gonna happen. My bad. All right, let's continue though. We could talk about those guys for sure. Dante Stills, he's another guy, and I guess that shows because of the 40 time, but he's another dude, super twitchy off the line, super quick off the line. One of the better first steps for an interior defensive lineman. I was almost surprised when watching him at the combine that he didn't really look like an interior defensive lineman. And I guess that's kind of fair because when you watch him on film, it doesn't always look natural. It doesn't always look like an interior defensive lineman. He kind of looks like I don't know. I'm gonna get to my notes on him. He said, what do you say? I need to check out Yasir Abdullah. I know, I got to get to him. He's one of the guys that I haven't got to. Strangely enough, he's one of the linebackers that I haven't checked out yet. So he will be someone I get to soon. I feel like I'm knocking out some of these dudes to the point where a lot of these guys I can kind of give you like a little bit of a take on. I don't have like full reports on a ton of these guys, and I'll probably never get to that point just because of time. But I do have a lot of these guys I think at this point I can kind of give you a take on, but he's one that I can't. And he was like the first one through a lot of those drills. Bryan Bresee. Obviously, the backstory that he gave was super sad, man. The things that he's went through. And for him, I personally only watched him in 2022. So I want to go back and check out his 2021. They do that with a lot of guys. But for me, this is one of the guys I do want to check out. Just knowing that kind of thing. The health problems, being sick as he was. Like, this is a guy that I would like to definitely go check out his earlier film as well. I believe he played in 2021. I'd like to see that just to see what he looks like, if there's a difference there. If I see some, I know Will Levis is one of those guys you want to look at the 2021 with as well. He's one of those guys for me because, when you look at, and everybody's calling him Bresee today, I don't know. I was saying Bresee. I thought that was right. Maybe that's not. Whatever it is, Bryan, it just seems to make a ton of sense. His, Chat to me, how you go on 2K and you kind of build with the archetypes, his archetype makes sense. It just does to me. He's a little tall, right? Being that he's 6'5", but he's got length to him. He's got size to him. He feels like he's extremely versatile. If there was injuries, I could push him around to different spots and I would have no questions about it. So he seems to make sense in that sense. He's explosive. He's got all the characteristics of a guy that I would think would make sense. It just didn't seem to click consistently in 2022, which is why I didn't fall in love with him. But I think he's a guy that I definitely need to watch more, and I need to watch more of his 2021. Wide receivers and cornerbacks need the speed. Okay, let me actually pull back a little bit. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Campbell and Van Ness just saying these Hawkeyes can ball. Although they can. I'm going to agree with you there. So Van Ness and who'd you just, I'm forgetting names right now. A lot of names are in my head at this second. Yeah, Van Ness and the linebacker. I can't think of his name for some reason. I got to, what did you say? Van Ness and, my goodness, why am I losing it? Oh, Campbell, of course, Campbell. Yo, first off on Campbell, let me touch on him. I'm going to bounce to linebacker for a second here. Let me get his scores. Let's try to spotlight these guys. I'm sorry, I'm not spotlighting anything. I'm kind of just talking. Let's see. Where did Van Ness? Campbell. He didn't have a great 40 time, 4.65. I think that's somewhat fair. Honestly, I know they said that they maybe thought he was going to run faster. I think that's what the program was saying, the TV was saying. But when you watch him, I don't feel like he has that great straight line speed. I don't really see it personally, but I do see a guy that continuously just kind of pursues the play, where it's like there's times where it's almost like he kind of gives up on it, and then all of a sudden he's back to it and he just pops you out of bounds. Like, he has that kind of vibe, to him. So I think the pursuit, what I like about him is, I think, and let me go to some of my old notes that I wrote on Jack Campbell, because I like him a lot. I do, and I think he's one of the more clear and obvious Mike linebackers in this draft, where to me, like, you can kind of get the sense of what he's going to be. He's smart. He communicates well. He feels like a day one starter for somebody. Like, that's the vibe that I get from the guy. He's a little bit stiff. He's a little bit stiff in coverage specifically, but he plays so under control, moving downhill, but also at the same time kind of like playing his role defensively. You know what I mean? And it's like, he has one of the best abilities to, I think, kind of flow with the football of any linebacker. Like, what was one of the things that I wrote for this guy? He works downhill with patience, his ability to scrape from the backside, his lateral movement, like all of those things. I think he does some of those top notch in this draft. Like, he is very under control and also always in the right spot. And he has stack and shed ability to him, which a lot of linebackers now, I don't think, they don't have that. Like, for him, I almost want to see him just kind of get more quick wins. Like, when he's at the second level and a guy gets up to him, it's like, okay, quick disengage instead of having to stack and shed everything. A lot of guys are kind of the dip underneath, kind of just get around you. But for him, I think his ability to do that in the NFL today is something that a lot of guys don't see, and I think it's going to make him unique, where teams are really going to like him. So it'll probably get him pretty high because of that. I know he's not like the typical linebacker today, but it'll probably move him up kind of high because of that. Is there other things that we need to look at? Oh, 10-yard splits, they do track those. What was his 10-yard split? Yeah, 159. Okay, that makes sense. Vertical. Ooh, they did not show these. I'm actually curious. What was his vertical? Did he do a vertical? 37.5 inches? That's impressive. 37.5 inches. Okay, especially with his size. Like, he could be a middle field presence. I could see that. Now, he's not the guy that, from what I saw, he's not like on third down, hey, we're going to go match him up. We're going to go match him up on somebody. He's the matchup piece. Like, he's not that. I think he has less flexibility in coverage if I compare him directly to an Alex Anzalone. But again, I feel like he's a day one starter at Mike. This isn't a race, it's a battle. Yeah, the 40 times, definitely take them as what they are. They're 40 times running in shorts. But I still do enjoy it. It's cool to see the numbers, things like that. And I think the biggest thing for especially for like fans, my perspective is, what it does is it gets you to check out certain guys. Like, if a guy runs Barno last year, Virginia Tech, hadn't seen him at all. But as soon as he did that, and you saw like the list of names that they compared him to, there hasn't been a lot of, I would say, greatness from guys that ran that fast. But as soon as he did that, it was like, I got to see him. I got to see what he looks like, because he put that kind of time up. And I think it gives spotlights to some of those guys. And for me, I think I'm trying to do a better job of that this year, just not even focusing on that. Like, I don't care what your size is. I don't care what your speed is. Like, I don't care. I'm going to watch you. I want to watch you at least a little bit, just to kind of try to put you in a bucket before I let numbers set you in a bucket for me. But I think that's what those kind of things do. You love Van Ness. Yeah, Van Ness is very position flexible. I want to touch on him for a second here. Where do they list him as? Probably defensive end. To me, is he on here? He's got to be on defensive end, right? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Oh, this is his vertical. No, I mean, we don't, that's not what I'm trying to show. What's his 10-yard split? I'm actually curious with this one. I don't remember what it was. Okay, 164. So the thing with Van Ness to me is, you're right, he's position flexible, and it's kind of weird because I think a lot of times when you think that, you think of a guy that plays DN, plays stand-up, 2-point stance, 3-point stance, but also at the same time is going to kick in and like work over a guard or play over center, play 2I. You're like, all right, that's probably something that he's going to do on pass downs. But he doesn't do that on pass downs only. Like, he does that normal downs. Like, he'll just normally kind of push himself inside. Now, for me personally, from what I've seen of Van Ness, my take on him is he wins with bull rush. We know this, all right? He drops his weight. He gets in your chest. He lifts you up. Like, he's got that ability to kind of just pick up offensive linemen, set himself up in his position to be able to stack and shed at the line. But my take is when he's in the interior, I don't get the same bull rush ability. Like, he's much easier going to get anchored from an interior offensive lineman. So he may get the first couple steps, but he may not finish. When I get him on the edge, I think you see more ability to finish outside there, right? I think that's kind of the sense that I get. So I actually like him a little bit more on the edge, but there's truly versatility in his game because of how they use him. My man said Nolan. I'm sorry, I'm going through your guys' chats. I want to touch on some of these guys. Nolan and Ness are two interesting guys I want to know more about. Both limited starts, both limited starts, playing situations. Correct. Okay, hold up. Maybe I just read that wrong. My thing with Nolan is, I don't know if, I kind of just feel like I kind of know what Nolan is. I don't know if Nolan is Nolan, who obviously put up crazy times today, they probably have him at defensive end, right? Yeah, Nolan Smith, 152, 10-yard split. That's elite. My thing with Nolan is I kind of get the sense of I feel like I know what he is, at least from an athletic perspective. You saw that today, and kind of the way that he's going to win the next level. His size is great. He's under 240 pounds. But the thing that I get with him is, I don't know if that's the kind of piece the Lions are looking for. I don't know if that's the kind of thing. Like, I almost feel like if I'm going to go edge, right, and you're not talking about position flexibility here, if I'm going to go stand-up edge, which I think is great, he can play that role, I feel like I almost want a guy that maybe gives me a little more power, a little bit more power to it, and that can win with that. Because with James Houston, I don't think I need to overlap that again, right? So I would want a guy that kind of changes the pace. I think I would want to change the pace guy. Not to say that guy wouldn't be great, but for a first-round pick, potentially, it'd probably be your 18th pick if you're doing that. Maybe you'd fall to your second-round pick unless you moved. Like, for that, I almost feel like I'd rather go with a guy that, kind of gives me just a change of pace at the pass rusher position. But you see it. I mean, it's his ability to change direction laterally without having to even change speeds. Like, those kind of things. I mean, it's great. It really is. But I almost feel like I'd rather have something just a little bit different to change it up a little bit. Chat, I'm sorry. I'm gonna skip a couple here and come back. So if I missed yours, put it back in the chat. I'm trying to get to what you guys saying. Just fascinating. Think about Hutchinson. Oh yeah, no. My thing is I literally get vibes of Hutchinson just in the bull rushing sense. Like, he doesn't win a lot of other ways, but I think it is cool to think those two together. And again, I think that James Houston, especially when he's playing stand up on the edge, like, I like him in that spot, and the versatility is always fantastic. Lions love versatility. Right? They love it. They bring it up all the time. I know that was the kind of when Patricia was here. Chat, you're probably tired of hearing it. I used to say, versatility. I used to say something very weird. Chat was always like, dude, why are you saying it like that? All right? Now I don't say it like that anymore. Y'all broke me of that, okay? Y'all did that to me. But I'm with you. I'm with you there, and he gives you something different. I almost feel like he might just go too high. I don't know. Nah, he probably wouldn't go too high. I almost get like Karlaftis vibes in a sense, maybe, right? Like, because Karlaftis had some position flexibility too. I feel like that didn't make sense for us at 2 looking back on it. But if this is a guy that was there at 18, maybe. I mean, maybe. Maybe that's something that you look at. I need to see more still. Did I see Gonzalez at the podium? He looked like a linebacker. Guy is huge. I did not see him at the podium. I saw him after the thing when they showed that little snip with him. Also, Witherspoon passing on everything at the combine. Is he? Okay, I didn't know that. This is a good look, BBFC. But no, Gonzalez is a dog, bro. I love me some. He's my number 1 corner right now. Currently, he is my number 1 cornerback. Could change. I'll revisit that again, put some grades to it. But right now, he's my number 1. We completely ruling out Anderson. I don't think we should. I mean, things happen. That's a mistake I'm trying not to make, because with J-Mo, I kind of overlooked him just because of the injuries, and it's like, we're not going to get that guy. He'll never fall to us. But I don't think you should rule out Will Anderson. My thing with Will is, again, to the point that I just made, he gives you something different, which would be cool. He changed the pace, but obviously he's a dog. Like, he wins consistently, but he does win with power more often than I thought that he would. When I checked him out, he wins with a lot more power than I thought he would, just based on his build type. I mean, he didn't have the most, elite get-off, but he wins with power. He wins with, I'm going to get half my man, and I'm going to drive you back to the pocket doing that. So, and here's a quote that sticks with me, chat. And I'm sorry if I'm missing the new stuff. I'm going to get to it for sure. But here's a quote that sticks with me with Will Anderson. Or not with Will Anderson, with Aaron Glenn. When Aaron Glenn talked about how, with so many mobile quarterbacks, right? There's so many mobile quarterbacks now. And this is actually part of the reason I like Cancey too, because Cancey has that ability to redirect, effortlessly. Okay, I'm just going to spin out, find a quarterback. He has that awareness. Same thing with Jalen Carter, which makes him really good to me. One of his traits is he has that awareness of, he's pass rushing, but he sees everything. He's not ever just rushing to rush or playing to run just over here. He knows where the ball is all times. But the ability to win through the bull rush, the ability to win inside counters, the ability to win with power is something that the Lions could, in a sense, I think take something that they look at a little bit more so this offseason, because like Aaron Glenn said, you play so many mobile quarterbacks, and obviously when you're in a division with Fields, assuming he doesn't get moved, but when you have that in your division or you just play those types of teams, it's more difficult to try to just get the edge. Oh, we're going to get the edge as pass rushers because, you're allowing them to step up. So Aaron Glenn wanted to collapse the pocket more, and if you remember, when we played teams like Chicago, and I think even Carolina to that point, we wanted to squeeze the pocket. So when we put our edge rushers out there, we wanted guys like Kaminsky or Josh Paschal, guys that could squeeze the pocket more so than maybe a guy like James Houston would squeeze the pocket. So in certain situations, right? So I think that's just something to keep an eye on. And I think with Will Anderson, obviously that's just one of the things that he can do is he can win through an offensive lineman. So you don't need a guy that has to win around the edge all the time and can be kind of pushed out. And then at that point, it makes a bigger lane for a quarterback to take off. Okay, let me continue. I'm going to try to focus on the D-line stuff I'm seeing. Could we see Brad doubling up a DT? I wouldn't be shocked. I could see it. If you're talking DT, yeah, I could see it. I mean, like I said, I don't think the Levi talk sound super confident. And if you're talking about just doubling up in the draft, possible. I think definitely could see him double up from free agency and draft. Like if you're saying, hey, he wants to go get a DT in free agency that he really likes, or maybe it's just kind of a prove it deal, and then coming back in the draft and grabbing another DT, that I think is very likely. Doubling up the draft, maybe. I mean, maybe. I kind of get the sense the Lions are definitely going to draft a quarterback at this point. I don't know where, but I think they will. But doubling up on DT, I could see it. I think they, like, I could see them wanting to go get a guy that could potentially back up Aleem, give you flexibility, give you size, but also give me a little upside there, maybe a little bit of a mid to late round kind of guy. But then also, like I always say, we'll want to get that penetrator as well. So I could see them doubling up. I wouldn't count it out. Let me continue. What did it say? Anderson. Okay, we'll come back to those if there's more of those. Franchise tag Williams. Franchise tag Jamal? Is that what you talking about? No, man. Hey, wait, actually, that's interesting. I don't know what the running back market's at. I feel like that'd be way too expensive for 1 year. I'm just assuming. I feel like you'd be getting back cheaper on extension, but actually the running back market might not be. I don't know where it's at. I mean, Zeke's in there, so Zeke's in there. Saquon might end up in there, so unless Saquon gets tagged, so I don't know. Let's continue. What's the 3 cone? Do we have those on here? We do. Yes, let's go through some of these as well. Oh, look at that, man. Jose Ramirez, definitely someone I want to check out. Oh, gosh. What? Wait. Whoa. Hold up. Delete? Yo, did I break it? Oh, my. Okay, it's back. What the heck? What did I do? Oh, no. Okay, I don't know what that was. Stop. Everything stop. Okay. Lucas Van Ness 3 cone. That's impressive. That's actually super impressive. You remember Hutchinson blew that out of the water. I mean, he was setting records. He did his in the 6s. I don't know what it was, but super impressive for these two guys right here. Byron Young. Land played at like 200 some pounds last year, but no, that's all right. That's nice to see, I would say, from Lucas. What do we got from DTs, man? Redmond's got some pop. Benton, I mean, that's pretty nice. Stills, that makes sense. Pickens, okay, y'all know I like Pickens there. Let me continue though. We can go through some of those. Tuli from USC. Chad, I think y'all lied to me. Chad, y'all lied to me. No, not all of you, but I feel like I got finessed a little bit. Wait, do I have, let me see if I have some of my notes handy on Tuli, because I had to check him out. Y'all know I had to check out Tuli, man, after y'all were like, hey, drafted, man. Look. What did they? I don't even know what they listed him as, actually. I don't think Tuli's a 3 tech, bro. Look here. I mean, like, I need to see more. His build does not scream DT at all. He does not scream DT at all to me, bro. The lower body power was even a knock that I had on the outside. What I like is he's agile, which I think in a sense as a pass rusher, that would translate in the interior, especially. That can make him difficult in the interior because I think he's agile on the outside. He has some dip to him. Like, he could win on the edge. I mean, he won actually a lot on the edge, and he had that ability to convert speed to power pretty well. But come on, man. He looked, I don't know. I'm going to watch more. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to go back to the top because there's a lot of chats in here. Oh, goodness. There's a lot of chats in here. Okay. 468. I'm missing stuff. Let me come back. Oh, Zach, you need to stop. All right, I'm at the top now. You said size is overhyped. Look, here's my thing. I think any measurement's overhyped in a sense. Like, every measurement's kind of overhyped. if you put any really too much into a measurement, you're probably overhyping it. Like, for example, remember when Hutchinson, there was questions about his length? It was like, yeah, but watch him. It was like I see guys, and if we go through these defensive linemen, I can't think of the guy's name right now. Oh, dude from no, that wasn't it. Hold up, maybe it'll come to me. It'll come to me. It's in one of my notes. But point is, like, you can get guys that are longer than Hutchinson that really struggle on the edge. I think any measurement can be always pretty much overhyped. I think it is. So, but Tyree Wilson, I actually just first time I looked at Tyree Wilson was last night. Super long arms, though. 86-inch wingspan. So I don't know what his actual arm length is. I don't know what that is, but I can say that's another guy, big body, wins with power. He's got some juice, bull rush. Like he can win with some edge power. So he was interesting. It was interesting because, it's like, all right. Again, he gives me a little bit of a change of pace. Everyone big in the NFL. All right. We do need a difference maker at linebacker. Yeah, y'all are on a here. Okay, let's talk linebacker for a little bit. Let's talk linebacker. Actually, no, let's finish for defensive line. Let's go through more of those because there's a lot we didn't touch on there. We just kind of touched on like 4 guys. So let's come back through this. I want to see who else we need to. Who else I want to? Oh, bro, Derek Hall. That was cool to see Derek Hall. I feel like Derek Hall was like the perfect example of a guy. Let me see if I have my old notes on him. What I got? I gotta sort these out. These will be on the website soon too. I got way too much going on here. I got some notes over here. No, for Derek Hall, I thought the way that he ran, and honestly, just not even time wise, but also just through the drills, like the burst that he had was, I think the perfect word is burst. He was like the essence of like cross checking exactly what he looks like. Like in the good sense, the burst that he brings is nuts. And it's the stop and start burst, right? Where he can set up offensive linemen. Now, from what I've seen, he seems to like just kind of win one way. Now, that's not to say that he's not good at it. I mean, he dominated Alabama, winning basically one way. Like 4 or 5 times, dude was just driving. It was like the first play of the game against Alabama. Dude put the tackle in the quarterback's lap. And he just has that, like, his move is like open up the chest of the offensive lineman, utilize my long arm, and then drive him back. And he has that kind of burst where it's like he can kind of stop and start. They're showing Hutchinson right now for some reason. I want to see more of this dude. Because I thought when he was working like inside outside, when he was slanting, he wasn't always getting back low. Like his pad level would pop up. He wasn't keeping that he wasn't allowing himself to enable that speed to power. But when he got that inside hand, yo, this dude could just walk you back with ease, man. That dude has a ton of power and burst. Like that dude is fun to watch. He could play behind the line of scrimmage against the run. Fun to watch. Derek Hall had a great day today because I thought he checked a lot of the things in a good way that you liked about him. That at least I liked about him. I should say me. What I liked about him when I watched him. My man, Nick Herbig, bro. See, he is the brother of Nate Herbig. They said that on the thing. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. If you know, you know. If you were in the mock draft thing, okay. We touched on these kind of guys, these guys a little bit. Anyone else I want to touch on here? I like it, Charles. What did Charles say? Call me crazy, but I see the Lions taking Hendon Hooker. I could see it. My biggest thing is I don't know where Hooker goes. I don't think you're crazy. We talked about this, I think, when the rumors or not rumors, but whatever it was kind of first dropped. I do think the Lions will draft a quarterback. I'm not sure which one. I was watching Aiden O'Connell yesterday from Purdue. Bro, I'm going to say this. Aiden O'Connell looks like Jared Goff. He looks and plays like Jared Goff. Now, the scheme coming out wasn't the same as it was, when Goff came out of Cal, but they look very similar to me. Very similar, man. It's weird. So I don't know if the Lions would go that direction. He feels like a day 3 pick. A little bit limited, I think, in arm strength for sure. But because he has a weird throwing motion, like he doesn't get all that I think he can into it. But I mean, in a sense, he kind of looks like Goff when he throws it. With that though, O'Connell is like he's very decisive, very quick reads, very decisive on zone coverage. So he was a guy, and he has some size to him now, willing to stand in. He was a guy who was like Bro, he looks like Jared Goff. Like, he looks like a young Jared Goff, bro. Not like exactly the traits, like he has less arm, things like that, but he looks like him. It's weird, but he does. But like Hendon Hooker, I couldn't see Hendon Hooker going to round 5. At this point, I don't think he'll go to round 5. Anthony Richardson, I don't think is probably going to get out of the top 10. So when you have things like that, I couldn't see Hendon Hooker lasting to round 5. If he does, I mean, well, we don't have a round 5 pick, do we? No, we don't have a round 4 pick, right? We have a round 5 pick, not a round 4 pick. I mean, if he does, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I definitely could see them doing that. I would say do it. Go for it. But man, I think if you're gonna do it, he's gonna have to come off a little bit earlier. He's gonna come off a little bit earlier. I saw they put the mock draft saying Anthony Richardson to the Lions. Bro, I like Richardson. I do. And it was weird because he came up today. I was watching him a little bit today, and the first pass I saw him make of the game, and I was like, bro, what the heck was that? And I was like, that was awesome. And I realized, I'm like, oh, I've already seen this game. So I got off it. But the first pass, dude, he threw it like, he just has arm strength with ease, bro. It's so easy for him. Just a flick of the wrist, and that ball is gone. He just launches that thing. Threw it like 60 yards on the dot. That's disgusting. But hey, again, I don't think he's going to get out of the top 10. I really don't, because I understand he didn't play enough games and things like that. And a lot of times teams will follow that rule. But at this point, with all the teams that feel like they're kind of going to go young, he's not going to go very far. I don't think he'll last very long. And I don't think he honestly should last that long. Going through, who do we want to touch on here? Nick Hampton. I guess I don't have a lot to say about Nick Hampton, but I have seen some of his stuff. I actually thought he'd run faster. I thought he'd be quicker. I thought he'd run at least his 40 time. I thought would be better. I don't think he was the most like quick athlete when I watched him, but I thought he'd be faster. I mean, that's kind of what he lived on at App State. He's very undersized. I don't know actually what he came in at. He may have been a little bit bigger. That could have had something to do with it. He may have been a little bit bigger than what he actually played at. So that could have had an impact. If we trade for Ramsey, then we will not have a draft pick or Hooker. Potentially. I mean, I don't know what you're going to give up for Ramsey. So, again, and I don't know where Hooker's going. So, I think I don't think Hooker's getting to like a round 5. I think he'll go relatively early. And I mean, there's other quarterback options out there for sure. Like, I just haven't got through a ton of them at this point. Definitely other quarterback options outside of Hendon Hooker. And I don't know. We'll see if they trade for Ramsey. I mean, it'll shake things up for sure, but you can obviously throw future picks in that too. It doesn't they don't all have to be this year. I'm assuming they're going to want at least one though this year. Oh goodness, I haven't even seen that picture yet either. The Rat Agnew and Hendon Hooker. I literally haven't seen the picture, so someone needs to send that, man, because that's the first time we talked about him, and I haven't even seen a picture of dude. You wouldn't hate quarterback at 6. I would hate quarterback at 6. I would hate that. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. Bro, trade away. And at that point, bro, what do you... Nah, don't... Let's not even... That would be awful. Let's not even talk about that. All right. Let's go to DT. Because I think they split a lot of these guys up. My boy Zach Pickens. I thought Ojomo is what they called him. I don't know if it's Ohomo or Ojomo. I guess maybe it's Ojomo. I don't know. I thought it was a Spanish thing, so there was no J. This guy, I thought, tested like he looks. I think he's more of a 3-4 DN, but I thought he tested just like he looks. Great length. I thought he looked, the same as he did when you watch him. Silvera. I actually had some notes on Silvera. He had a couple things on Silvera here. Here we go. Out of Arizona State, bro. I was intrigued at first. I was really intrigued with watching this guy at first. I mean, and you saw through the drill, he plays with really good balance. He uses like the really short steps, stays under control. But it was like he could not beat if an offensive lineman like used a short set, and a lot of times you get that from the interior. He couldn't beat it. Like he seemed like he had no way to win quickly, which I thought was an issue. I thought his pass rush was definitely worse than I anticipated when I watched him. Like he had some of the juice, but it's like, man, it didn't look like it was there. Okay, Benton, we've talked about him a few times. Dexter, like I think there was somewhere we saw him mocked, or maybe I saw him mocked to the Lions. I don't really know if Dexter would be someone Lions go after. He does have size, but just in the play style that he plays with, I don't know if that's someone the Lions would actually look at there. He doesn't bring me I don't get any vibes of any kind of twitch or explosiveness for the guy. Mustafa, yeah, that was rough. That was rough for Mustafa. I was hoping for a little bit there. We just talked about him. He's good. I haven't seen any Mustafa play though. In fairness, I haven't watched him do play at all. So I was hoping for a little. He said Brissett is back up. Sorry, Brissett. I think Brissett costs too much. I don't know. Brissett's going to be in a weird spot because I think Brissett's still capable. He's a capable starter, so he'd be ideal. But he costs some money as a backup quarterback. So do the Lions want to give that out? I don't know. I almost feel like they would lean towards just using a draft pick if they're going to give out that much money because, I mean, you could, though. I mean, he'd be one of the better backups, I think that's out there. He's good. I mean, hey, Baker's, chat, y'all want Baker? Baker's a free agent, Hey, not after not being in Seattle, right? That's where I'm at with it. Y'all, you didn't beat Seattle. I don't want you. Like, that's my thing. I'm scarred from that. No, I'd definitely take Gonzo at 6. Let's see. Okay, let's talk edge a little bit. Defensive end. If there's any late guys we need to touch on. I guess not everybody's actually in here though. Yeah, that's kind of the issue with this, right? Some of the guys, trying to see which one's probably be late. I mean, Mike Morris probably won't be super late. Hampton, he might not get drafted. Land will be late. Henry will probably fall a little later. What was the guy? There was a couple guys that I wanted to touch on here for sure. Specifically, I wanted to touch on dude's teammate. Losing these way these are split confusing me. Hold up. I kind of wish they had their size next to him too because I'm. All right, whatever. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. Let me see what else I got here. We'll go through the notes instead. Oh gosh, this guy, man. This guy, I want to see more. Is he? He's got to show up on here as D end, right? He's got to be on here as D end. Oh, is this alphabetical order? Is that? Hold up, where is he at, man? Did he not run the 40? Wait a minute, because he's got to be a D end. He ain't a DT. Bro, I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it. Am I missing him? Okay, I don't know. I don't know where he's at. He's not a DT. So I don't. Anyway, I think it's pronounced Ali Gay. I don't know if it's Ali or Ali. The dude obviously has good size, about 270. But man, I want to see more of this guy. I want to see more. It's like I feel like there's something I'm almost like missing. I just need to watch more. I feel like I'm missing something, but I feel like there's something there. I'm like, there's a it here. There's something weird that I can't put my finger on that he's doing that I really like, but it's there. Like that. That's what I got from it. He's got some twitch. He's got some twitch to him off the line. He obviously plays the edge rusher position. I thought it was adequate get off is actually what I gave his quickness to, but he's got some twitch to him. His ability to cover ground, he covers a lot of ground with that first step. He utilizes that long arm. He didn't have necessarily the build, I think, to win on the inside. Not necessarily just kick inside, but on pass downs. Like I don't think he'd be a guy that would win a ton on the inside. I don't actually think it would make him better kicking on the inside. Actually, chat, let's do this because I'm seeing his notes. And I know you guys were talking about him. We want to talk about our guy out of Northwestern a little bit too, because he ran like a what did he put? Oh, he posted a crazy vertical too. This guy, can't think of his name. So here's my thing with him, right? Like I said, the quickness, things like that, it makes sense. You see it when you watch him. It makes sense that he has that, and that his 40 times were what they were and things like that. The thing that I think I liked most about him, though, because I kind of knocked him for pass rush, the thing that I liked most about him came in the run defense. I know he's undersized, but seriously, as a run defender, what I got from him is this is one of the more aware defensive linemen. Like, there was a dude out of Bama, and I was like, dude, this guy does not seem to be aware of the block scheme or anything like that. Like, he's just kind of going through it and just playing it, and then things just kind of happen around him. But for him, should I try to attempt his name? Oh, wait. Adetomiya? Okay, nope. I'm not going to do it. But for him, I thought he had a really good sense. He had a really good feel playing the run. And he put himself in really good positions. Like, if he was playing the zone one, the way that he would wall himself off. Like, a lot of guys guys would just kind of roll with the flow and then they get pushed out of the play. But he had, like, such good awareness and feel and just instincts as a run defender where he would separate himself from the offensive line, create spaces on the offensive line. He had that awareness of when a down block was coming towards him, like all of those things, man. So I know he's undersized, obviously the quickness, and I thought, the pass rush, it felt like it could be better than what it was. But super active hands, very active hands, very ready hands getting into contact. But that was the biggest thing to me that translated to the run is like, I get he's undersized, but the guy's run feel, and Dan Campbell touched on FBI, so this is why I'm hitting on it. Like that run feel that he had is certain defensive linemen just don't have it. It just looks like they're just kind of running. And I'm losing guy's name from Bama that I kind of got that vibe from. I think it was Byron Young. I was like, bro, he doesn't even look like he has a sense of what's going on. And it almost felt like complete opposites here. So that was like one of my biggest takeaways. Personally, that was one of my biggest takeaways with dude outside of the quickness and things like that. Call Tommy. Tommy is what they call him, right? Tommy? Okay, call him Tommy. Got you. Boom. I'll call him Tommy. That works. Tommy. Like, and this was a great example, right? So there was a play, I think it was against Ohio State, and you saw the pass rush ability, though. You saw some creativity. And when he sets himself up as a pass rusher, and he's not kind of like, it almost seems like a lot of times he's just kind of playing ahead of himself, but when he sets things up, like there was a nice little hesitation he brought out, and he kind of stood and it took this because he's naturally low to the ground. He's only 6'1.5", but when he stands the offensive lineman up just a tad, and he got him to sit up, and he did that quick get off, so they're really he's in their chest quick, but what he did was he kind of like hesitated, he gave him like that Mario move, right, and he got him to pick up just a tad, got in his chest, and dude just sent him back to the quarterback. And it was like, whoa, there's the leg drive, because you don't see it. It's like his legs don't allow him to do it. He doesn't get under himself. He doesn't allow himself to show that leg drive. But that play, it's like, ooh, okay, it's there. It's just not there yet, but it's there. Speaking of guys that I feel like are not there yet, but there's something there, I think there was a guy, Keon White, that's a perfect example of this. Keon White is like physically crazy looking. Let me go to my notes. I have so many notes here. He's physically an animal, and I think his 40 time was exactly what he looks like on film. Like, he doesn't look like, to me, with the best first step quickness off the line of scrimmage. He's not super threatening there, but through his 40 time, I think he ran a pretty good 40, if I remember right. Did he even run the 40? I might be tripping. Hold up. He didn't even run the 40? Okay, maybe he didn't run the 40. Point is, though, when you watch him, like, he has some of that kind of rolling speed to him. It's not like the quick twitch burst, but he's got some of that rolling speed to him, and I thought it looked just that way when you watched him today. But this was another one of those guys that has, I think, big-time upside. Like, the ability to push and pull and win like that as a pass rusher, the closing speed that he showcased. Like, one of my notes that he flashes excellence. He's got incredible power, and you see it, like, you'll get glimpses of him against the run when he's actually square. A lot of times he doesn't keep any kind of base under him, and he's like, it's super narrow. But when he stays square, because he's big, I think he's like, 285? 6'4.5", 285. And he's one of those dudes with that thick build throughout his entire frame. When he stays square, his ability to hold, to stack, shed with ease against the guard is impressive. And obviously, he does the same thing against DNs too, but he's got some position flexibility. He's just another one of those guys that it was just like not always there. Like, there were times against the run where he was like almost doing his own thing. Like, he would completely lose contain if he's sitting on the edge. Again, some of the run scheme awareness I didn't think was always consistent. He'd get himself in bad spots early. He didn't set himself up early. He didn't set himself up well to win early. But when he did, you're like, oh dang. And he's another guy. It's like, I wouldn't say it was like Bresee, for example, but it was. And he's the same type, but it was just kind of like, it's not all there, but I see super high potential. He feels like he has super high upside. Call him Tommy. Tommy is me. Okay, I don't. Tommy is whack. Oh, that's what you said. I thought you said that's you. I was like, what, Chris? Let's continue. Trenton Simpson. What is his size? Trenton Simpson. Oh, I don't have his size handy. He's like an adequate. I think he's like 6'2". 6'2", probably 225, 230, somewhere in that range. I think he's somewhere around that range. Look, again, like, he ran a fast 40, and I don't think there's any shock to that at all. There's no surprise to me that dude ran fast. That dude is fast when you watch him. Like Owen Papo, I think that's how you say his name. That dude kind of surprised me a little bit with his 40 time. He plays such a patient style. Like, he's so patient as a run defender. I was kind of surprised that he took off like he did and that he actually ended up with the time that he did. Like, Dorian Williams, I wouldn't be shocked. That dude's closing burst that he showcases as a run defender, he's also super low to the ground. Dude's like 6 foot tall. And I think that's just the issue with him in general. Like, he first off, okay, speaking on Dorian Williams for a second, because I know you're all talking about Tulane, little undersized. But he plays with, like, the physicality that you like. Like, he plays like a tone setter all the time, whether it's playing the run. He just finds a way. It's like he just finds a way to get the running back down. Pass coverage, he plays he plays with like an edge to him, but I thought his biggest problem was he wasn't much of a presence. He wasn't really a presence in zone coverage. He was kind of just like, I'm dropping, but I'm not really doing anything. And there was a lot of times balls would just fly over his head because it was like he wasn't really even there. That's kind of the vibe that I got. But he was a guy that didn't shock me with his 40 time. Neither did Trenton Simpson. If anything, I don't know if he goes round 1. I get a lot of the. I don't think he goes round 1. I'll say that right now. Maybe I'll change on this. I'm going to watch more because, again, like I said at the beginning. But I don't think he goes round 1. As of right now, I don't think he goes round 1. I would bet Drew Sanders as of now goes before he does. And I think it's just for that point, like, especially if teams are seeing James Houston and what he did. Like, Drew Sanders has an elite ability to pass rush quarterback. A lot of guys, you project it. I think, okay, great example. Who is it? I'm losing guy's name. Dude out of Bama. I'm losing Henry Toto. Like, you could project some pass rush there, and you could see it. He's using stunts and things like that. But this dude, Sanders, is a actual really good pass rusher. Like, you could draft him and probably just set him at edge and just let him play third downs. But he needs development as an off-ball backer. But I could see a team taking a shot on that and just saying, look, dude, today's league, closing speed, didn't really play much man-covered snaps, but that's fine. That's the traits are there. That's fine. We'll take a shot on it. So I think at this point, if I had to bet, if I was putting money on this, if I was putting this piece of bubble gum on it, because I like this gum and I kind of want to have this later, I would bet that Drew Sanders is the first off-ball backer off the board. That would be my prediction. That would be my prediction. You heard of Keon? Yeah, last few days on mocks. We may end up doing a video on dude. We may end up doing a video on dude. Winters played Michigan really tough. That's a good point. See, look, now I haven't seen D. Winters play. I haven't specifically watched D. Winters, but that's actually a good game to check out. That's a good game. Just like I think it's a good game to check out for Campbell. That's probably a good game to check out for him. That makes sense. Let's see. Oh, he pronounced it for me. Aditomiwa. Aditomiwa? Wait, that's Aditomiwa. Adibare? Aditomiwa? Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to forget that. Dude, I'm not going to. Aditomiwa, got you. Okay, well, that guy. We're not talking about him anymore, but that guy. Actually, I thought Noah Sewell moved better than I anticipated. I haven't watched a lot of Noah Sewell. I'm gonna get to him more for sure because Jalen Graham. I'm not sure what Jalen Graham's gonna be really. He played like outside linebacker, but he kind of played like the overhang. He's the kind of your nowadays slot. Like he played a weird role, and I don't think that's him in the NFL. I don't know what he is in the NFL. Like the biggest thing that I like about him is he's got 33-inch arms. He's got length to him. He actually looked good. I thought his movement skills looked good today, so I was curious, but I don't know what he is in the NFL, especially playing that role. It makes him kind of a projection, I think. If he would have just played like off ball, you'd be like, oh, okay. But I don't know what he is. And he didn't look like a great pass rusher, but I didn't see a ton of him in fairness to him. So I'm not sure what that dude's going to be. Like Overshown was the safety, right? I think Overshown played safety. You get that a lot now. You get that a lot now. I think Henley was an offensive player, so man, you get a lot of these dudes that are just going from safety to linebacker. And I think that's the thing. With like, for example, I know Panda's guy, Toho, Jack Campbell, like some of these dudes that they just have an elite, I think, feel against the run. They kind of stand out more now than I think speed. Like a lot of guys can fly. Like that's just, you get a lot of undersized guys that can run. But the guys that I feel like that are going to stick, if you can pair that with also whether that's the ability to, like Malcolm Rodriguez, be extremely strong and still play the run and play blockers, which was like he shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, this dude's flipping offensive linemen. It's like that shouldn't happen. But he's small, but that stands him apart. Or you got to get a guy that has that really good ability to play the run, like great instincts against the run. Everybody loves that. I know that's not a running league, but everybody loves the instincts to play inside the tackles because that's exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think Toto is. Like he's a 3-4 inside linebacker that you want to stick between the tackles. Didn't see him venture all out outside the tackles, but he has the ability to zone drops, fluidity, can play like a Tampa 2 role. He's like a Mike, but he's like today's version of a Mike. But I think that flow that he has, even though sometimes it's steep, it's like that's something that can separate him, I think, from a lot of guys. And that's to me what shows up on a lot of these dudes' rankings. Like the rankings of, and I think even Noah Sewell showed some of that. I'm going to have to watch more, but like when they rank those guys high, It's like that just stands him apart because a lot of guys can run fast, right? A lot of guys can run fast, but if you can do that, then okay. Like, for example, Chris Board, he's a pretty good coverage linebacker, but it's like you got to bring me more than that at this point in time. So, because, you know, I could take a safety and just put him at linebacker and be like, hey, go match up with my tight end, but you got to give me more than that because if that's what you're doing, I don't want it. You know, I mean, I could just take a safety and put him on the dude. It's like your Mike has to be able to play the running back. He has to be able to just run with that out of the backfield. But I need to have that feel against the run, man. At least for me personally. I mean, I know like at this point in time, at least from, you know, the scouts and stuff that I've talked to, like the order of importance isn't placed anywhere really near run game. Like one of the most important traits is never graded out as like what's their run game impact. It never is because of the league today. It's always passing things. It's play speed. It's those things. But I do think those kind of things can separate you and at least give you playing time. And that's why I think Drew Sanders in a weird way kind of does that for himself because he's a pass rusher. And since everybody values that, it separates himself. Duggan to the Michigan Panthers. I need to watch some Duggan, dude. I need to watch him. Hey, he was getting going a little bit there in the Senior Bowl, man. See, Overshown did play safety. Okay, good look, Nolan. I thought so, man. I mean, he looks like he plays in the slot, so it looks like he would have played that. Maybe we take 2 linebacker. I can't see us taking 2 linebacker. I mean, if we took 2 linebackers, for sure, I don't think Alex Anzalone's coming back. If Alex coming back, I think we guarantee taking 1. But to your point, I could see us taking 2 if it's a hybrid we throw in there. Because, like, if the Lions could find that guy that they feel like, okay, he's kind of like I would say, like a tight end matchup, and he can play special teams. If you think you can, but then again, you don't really need that. Like we have Iffy. I don't even think you need that. I guess on early downs, like it's hard. Like playing the linebacker's tough now, man. Like I got play it, bro. Being able to play linebacker, I think is difficult now, man, because it's just like at least finding, I think, the right one because they got to be able to do a lot of different things if they're gonna find a field for 3 downs. If you're going to find a field for 3 downs, you have to be able to be very well versed because otherwise you're just rotating different guys in for different packages, which is, I think, what a lot of teams do at this point. A lot of teams they got different rules for everybody. Do you see any similarities between Muma and Campbell? Ooh, that's a good question. That's actually a really good question. I never really thought about that. I mean, I maybe a little bit. I think for me, maybe. Man, I kind of forgot what I wrote about Chad Muma. I mean, the biggest thing is like Muma I thought he was a really good run defender. But I think Jack Campbell's more of I think Jack Campbell feels like he's, I could see comparisons. I could, yeah, I could see because in a way they kind of give me Logan Wilson vibes. Like I think he's more of a clear Mike linebacker. Like, I feel like his weaknesses are pretty clear. Like, with Muma, it was... And maybe I just wasn't doing it very well. But I feel like Muma was kind of... like, I wasn't... His weaknesses weren't as, like, glaring. I feel like you can kind of point out what Jack's not great at. And you're just like, okay, he's limited here. But at the same time, he's, like, really good at what he's good at. He's really good at what he's good at, man. I wonder why Brad Holmes did not take a chance on... Brock Purdy. He looked very poised. Maybe there's another Purdy in the draft this year. I would take a chance on Max Duggan, for example. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I ever watched Brock Purdy coming out, so I can't really speak on that or like what I thought about the guy. Yeah, Brock Purdy did his thing. I think in fairness though, I mean, everybody's really done well when they've played a quarterback for San Fran. But I also think last year was also a situation. I mean, maybe he could have taken it over. Here's the point. The fact is he was the last player drafted. So while I think part of it's just situation, also part of it's prototype. Teams don't like that prototype. And then on top of that, it's like he got to the last pick in the draft, so everybody passed on dude. I mean, he was the last. Everybody passed on the dude at some point in time. And I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. Did he have like a lot of confidence in what Boyle and Blau are going to turn into? Because if you remember, we came in the draft with 3 quarterbacks, right? I mean, I believe we had all 3 of those guys actually signed at the time. So he may have completely, I don't want to say he crossed it out, he didn't really seem to like last year's quarterback class. So maybe he did. But he seemed pretty like content with like, hey, we're rocking with these 3 because I think we actually came in with 3 quarterbacks. And honestly, if he maybe had any sort of vision of saying we may take a quarterback, I know he says they don't do this, but if they had any thought of taking a quarterback, maybe he wouldn't have brought both of them back. I don't know, but it's interesting. So going to be early day 3, late day 2. You think so? I mean, maybe. I mean, it seems like a lot of people think he's a top linebacker in this class, so that feels like a solid range for him. I just need to see more because I didn't think he'd move like that. I didn't think Sewell would move as well as he did. I was anticipating because I think last year he looked a little bit more stiff to me, man. He looked a little more straight line to me last year. I don't know. He looked better this season. What style of linebacker do you want? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't know. I want Alex back, so I want to roll with those 3. And my thing is, my biggest question would be like, where do they feel with Barnes? I think Barnes has a potential future here. I don't think Board's gonna come back. He could though. I'm kind of open to it. Like I feel like we can go kind of a direction because the thing is, to me, if you feel like Barnes has a potential to be your Mike, there's really no. I mean, you could draft it, I guess, but at that point, it's like Barnes isn't probably gonna move too far away from that. I don't think, like, I mean, I guess he could. He's flipped a little bit, but I kind of know what Malcolm is. I feel like Barnes, you kind of know what he's going to be. So I guess one thing that I would like from a linebacker is a guy that has, I don't think it's necessary, though. Like, I don't think it's super necessary. I would like a guy that gives me a little bit more just coverage upside. Not to say he was like a lockdown coverage guy in college, but maybe that has a body type of upside. You know, that's not like 5'11", but maybe he's like 6'2". Just give me a little more upside there because Malcolm is just purely limited in certain spots. Now, that's not to say Malcolm can't cover, but he's just limited in certain spots. So, what I want from him, I want a linebacker with a trait that I can point to. I think that's what it is, man. Whether that's being one of the better, I don't know. Okay, let me say this. I think the Lions may look for one of those guys that do have more run feel, especially if Alex isn't here, but even if he is, I think they may look for that because, you know, Derek Barnes still kind of development. He looked better. He's just super aggressive downhill. But to have a guy like to the Malcolm point that has that feel of the run game, if Alex Slade, for example, is brought back on a 1-year deal and he's not like a long-term piece, because I think this extension could tell us a lot about how they feel about Alex in terms of how long they want to keep him around. If they only give him like a 1-year deal, I could see them wanting a guy like that, where they feel like maybe he has a body type in today's NFL. He's 6'2", can possibly play both linebacker positions, and then has a really good feel for the run. Because I don't even think Alex Anzalone is great at that. But Alex has, like, big-time versatility. So I either want to go that way or I want to get a guy that has, like, a trait that I love. Whether that's pass rush, I don't think it's much as coverage, but more like pass rush. Like, if he's a really good pass rusher, I might take a shot on that. And at this point, Drew Sanders I think it's going to go too high, so I don't think he's really an option anymore. I know I did my mock offseason. I don't think he's going to be an option anymore, Jack. I don't think he is, man. Okay, I didn't see what that one was. My man Kevin C in the building. My man Matt, what's up, man? What's up, Kevin C? No, Sanders will be sweet, man. Yes, I'm going to check out Abdullah. I got you, Charles. Charles, come on, man. You know I got you, man. I'm going to check him out. Look, I'm trying, bro. Look, here's the thing. I'm not even writing forward reports right now. I'm just trying to get a sense of, like, a lot of these dudes in the draft. But it's coming, man. That's coming. Let me see if there's anybody else that I wanted to hit on here, chat. If you guys got people you want to talk about, throw it in the chat. Let me see if there's anything else specifically. Let's see. No, I mean, I don't think so. I think we hit on a lot of things that I kind of wanted to hit on there. We need coverage and speed at linebacker. Well, okay. See, that's interesting. What kind of speed necessarily, I would say, because Lions got straight line speed. I mean, Malcolm probably doesn't have the best straight line time. Derek Barnes has straight line speed. Alex Anzalone has speed. So I guess if you wanted more like quicks and twitch, I could understand that. I I don't know what that role is though, because let's say hypothetically that let's say, okay, I'm just gonna throw a name. Let's say I draft Owen here, right? Super fast, undersized. Okay, boom. Or I draft Williams. What is he gonna do for me? Like, hypothetically, I bring Alex back. He's gonna be probably my backup to Malcolm Rodriguez. So I mean, that's great, but I think Malcolm's long term in this. Like, Malcolm's not losing his spot. So I almost feel like, in a sense, either I need a guy that has a different skill set than that, like widely different, that way I can use him in certain packages, or I need a guy maybe that they feel like could eventually replace a Malcolm Rodriguez by having flexibility for both positions, or just being a pure Mike linebacker. I mean, I don't know, man. Oh, I appreciate that, Kevin. Hey, can we get some birthday cakes in the chat for my guy? Good to see you in here. I like that goat next to your name, man. That looks good. That looks good. You've been for a while. Shout out to the people with the goats in the chat, by the way. Rad probably sitting back hearing this like this. I cannot wait to get back on this dude's show, because trust me, chat, while I'm not the big linebacker guy, Rad is. So for the people that want linebacker, you just wait till Rad gets in here, because he's gonna be here for you. He will. He'll be here for you. Just cause my guy. I'm gonna start off the birthday cakes, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you hopping in, man. It's good to see you in here.
Just cause my brother.
Man, I appreciate that, chat. Appreciate everybody that's in here. I don't know what time it is. 10:30. We rocking late night. We're probably I plan to do this again tomorrow, really through the combine, talk positions. Again, we could talk whatever. I think we should talk about that real quick, actually. Let's chat. Should we talk about? I want to at least go through the information that we know on dude from Jalen Carter. I'm gonna read through something here, because I think this is worth talking about, at least like just updating the situation. Teams they're saying that here's my thought, okay? Because this is horrible and I don't want to talk about, but will it affect his draft stock? I don't really know. Like, I don't know if that would affect his draft stock. Honestly, I don't know if he's gonna move down because of that. So I don't know if this even touches his draft stock, to be honest. I mean, as a player, Jalen Carter is he's crazy, because he's not like the most twitchy guy, but what he is he's like a rock, dude. He is legit a rock. I don't even know how much he weighs, but dude looks like he's 320. He has like ragdoll strength. Like, he's that kind of guy that can grab a line by his shoulders and just go like that. He just throws him. He plays with behind the line scrimmage with ease, man, through your offensive lineman versus anybody. So if anything, the questions are, man, he got to stay on his feet, because he's like so aggressive, he just falls over. But his awareness, what was the situation here? So they said an arrest warrant was issued for reckless driving and racing in a January crash. So that's what happened. And this was, when was this? I don't even know when this was. I think this was right after the draft. And this is weird. Like, does this just come out? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's awful. So prayers to those that were lost in that. And those, I know there was a couple I've heard that were injured as well. Like, it's an awful situation. So I don't think we're going to, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to do like a video on this anytime soon. Like on, his draft stock may fall. I don't really want to do that. I know this is kind of like the, like, I would rather let it kind of die down, at least, because I know that information to me I heard about today. So I'm going to let it die down. We might talk about it a little bit later. Kind of when it's not like a hot topic. I don't really want to put that out there. So we can revisit that later on. So I'm going to kind of stay away from that whole thing for a little while. And then we can come back to that later. But I don't really want to jump into it right now. It's like I don't think it's a situation really worth talking about, like the player as much, and doing a video on that or something. Anyway, go to the D, tight end at 18. Oh goodness, tight end at 18. Hey, I don't know if my guy's in the chat, but my dude that wanted me to check out Georgia, the Georgia tight end. Let me see if I have his notes handy. Oh, I don't know if I do. I should. Georgia tight end. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. This is probably super loud. Should be. I've watched a lot of guys. Mekhi Gardner, I got in him. I started getting into Forbes a little bit. Oh gosh, that's our coach. I'm sorry. Nah, bro. Okay, but big tight end out of Georgia. I'm mad I don't have it. Oh, here he is. No, that's Payne Durham. I like Payne Durham too, chat. If we're talking tight ends, I like Payne Durham. All right, that dude showed out at the Senior Bowl. Payne Durham's also.
Rad. I love him, but let him be single. ... I'm with you, Dose.
Wait, Kevin, hold up. Let him be single. Oh my goodness, man, I appreciate Kevin. Look, I don't even know what to say to that, but no, I think we'll probably get Red back a little bit closer. Oh, actually, not too far out. It's already March. Wait, it's March 2nd. Oh, February is a short month. I forgot. Okay, we'll probably get Rad back like maybe within a week, hopefully. So, yeah, man, like I appreciate the 30 though, Mike. I appreciate you. Tight end. Yeah, no, I like Payne Durham. So his hand usage, I thought Payne Durham's hand usage was so good. And I know like the first thing I'm looking at is like the blocking side, because I just know we like to block our tight ends. But his ability to like maintain connection at the second level was so impressive. Like he resets his hands. His first strike is always inside. Like he's so good at doing that. Now, Darnell Washington. Okay, y'all hit the name there. Y'all hit the name. That's a good look. Here he is, Darnell Washington. 6'6", 270 pounds, bro. I first put this on, I thought dude was an offensive lineman. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought dude was an offensive lineman. I'm like, oh my gosh. That dude is a tank. 270? He's some of these defensive tackles, bro. I'm like, that dude is massive. Come on now. But it showed. Like it showed. My biggest thing is I don't think there's gonna be a ton to his route tree. I think his route tree is gonna be relatively limited, which is fine. It could be fine in this offense, because he can be kind of like your spot up, big body over the middle, kind of box you out. However, I didn't like he kept. I feel like he took his eyes off the ball way too early. Like he would kind of just look to run. There's a couple of drops there, a couple of bobbles, but he had some craftiness to him. He understood like my route tree's basic, but he mastered those routes. He mastered the beneath route. Very basic, but he mastered it. Like he changes speeds throughout the route. He's crafty. He'll get behind you. Just super crafty, right? Not great speed, but he's crafty. He jumped over a guy. He jumped over the dude at Oregon. But my goodness, he just swallows up defenders. Like every time a defensive back came near him, it was like, okay, he's gone. It was so weird, bro. He was so big that like his hands were consistently awful, which I think is just kind of natural because how big he is. But my goodness, anytime, and there was never flags. The secondary player was just gone. You like him as like a lead blocker, throwing screens his direction, things like that, man. I will stop watching the draft if we take a tight end in the first round. I don't think we'll take a tight end in the first round. I really don't. I really don't think we're going to take a tight end. He said he should run his 40 with the O-line. He looks like an offensive lineman. But to his credit, man, he's crafty. It's like I get the hype with him. Like I mean, you gotta like know like what his role is, because I don't think there's gonna be a ton of variation outside of it. I mean, you could do like as an inline blocker against the run, he was one of the guys that could drive a defensive lineman back that I saw. He was one of those guys. Now what was it? Was it him or was it someone else? I think it was him. Like his ability to change direction was kind of a problem, but he's one of those guys that could actually stick as an inline blocker. He played in the slot a lot. I don't think he's going to go to the slot in the NFL. I think he's going to probably stick in line. I don't think he'll be a movement tight end. Won't be an F tight end, but bro, if you know what he's going to do,
you are a force to be respected. That's where the Lions should be. Man,
my guy Kevin C showing tons of love. Hey, I appreciate it. Look, we're doing what we can, man. We're doing what we can this offseason. I'm going to try to give y'all some, I'm not going to tell y'all what my plans are, but I got some plans, okay? And we'll see if they come to fruition or not. I don't know. A lot of stuff kind of going on this offseason, but I got some plans for this upcoming year for the Lions to try to get y'all some really good, scoop information that I've never given before. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'm trying to, so we'll see what happens. But I definitely got some plans, and if it is the case, I'm going to definitely get y'all involved with it, so it's going to be really cool. But I don't want to speak on what it is, though, because I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'm going to try, all right? I'm trying, all right? So we'll see if that's the case. Now, my man Kevin C shows tons of love, man. That's my guy. But yeah. I don't remember what I was saying at all. I completely forgot what I was saying. Kevin C is going crazy, bro. Shout out to Kevin C. Can we get some emojis in the chat for my guy? Show some love. I'm gonna bully you. You can't stop me, kind of guy. That's exactly what he is, bro. And actually, like literally, the first thing I wrote down is he's a giant. He's a giant. Oh, here's another issue. His bend. He had very, very big problems with bend, pad level. But at the same time, like and it was weird because like if a receiver would chip somebody and if it would chip a defensive lineman and he'd get it, he was one of the guys that actually could anchor down against a defensive end and they wouldn't even go anywhere. But his bend was a very big problem, and he would just show up against a run. Guys would find creases on him in line because he couldn't change directions very well, and it showed up in pass pro. But with that being said, you're right. Like, he has a specific usage. I don't know if it's for us, but if you were looking for a guy who is one of the most impactful tight ends that I could get while also having a very limited route tree, he's probably top of the list. I mean, if you're thinking of impactful tight ends, you're thinking of guys that, they can run all the routes or, but he's like, I'm not going to run many routes. I'm going to run some drags. I'm going to run some flats. Maybe in the red zone I'll spot up, but that's all I'm doing. But I can block at the second level like a fullback. It's like, that's probably the most impactful basic tight end that's going to be in this draft. It's weird. He's one of a kind, man. And he's a good athlete. I will say that. He's a pretty good athlete, man. Some player interviews. Oh, that would be fire. Yeah, look, man, here's my thing, man. Player interviews are difficult to get. I know that personally. I've tried to reach out, so we'll see if we can land some of those. We'll see. I'm going to continue to try to land some of those. But definitely, maybe somewhere near that category is what I'm kind of going for. So we'll see. We'll see. St. Brown, Manil, Hutch, or Mar. Okay, I don't know what that's a part of. Calijah, Cancey. Hey, shout out to my boy Calijah, Cancey, though, bro. Y'all saw that, and you know what it was? Here was this. I had two thoughts of it because I know he's undersized. So my two thoughts for this, because I'm a big Calijah guy. I'm a Calijah Cancey truther, man. I am. But here's my thing. I had two thoughts when he did it. I was like, first thought is, this is sweet. Everybody that's paid to the combine is immediately going to bring this guy up in the chat when we go live. My second thought was, because he ran so fast, people were like, wait a minute, that's not right. He cannot be a defensive tackle. He ran that fast. So, like, I had two thoughts about it, but regardless of what he did today, I was still going to be a Calijah Cancey truther. He's still my guy. But that was pretty cool to see him run like that and just kind of post those numbers. It was cool. But I know nationally he's definitely, and I know this is going to happen now. And if I do this, let me know now. I'm telling you. If I do a video and I put Aaron Donald in the title, you know why. Because that's what everybody's going to do now. I'm assuming there's going to be some Calijah Cancey videos popping up here soon about, is Calijah Cancey the next Aaron Donald? I'm assuming that's going to happen. All right. And I'm just saying, not to say I believe he's Aaron Donald, because again, I think Aaron Donald has a different frame that makes him really special. That's just, I don't know if you're going to find that again. I don't know if you're going to find a guy like Aaron Donald ever again, man. I mean, it's just, like, looking back on it, if that guy came through the draft that was that, you wouldn't be able to get your hands on him. I think he'd be the first pick. Because he was 285, but the way he was built was like, bro, you're not, like, the body proportions just should not look like that. You should not look that thick in the lower body, but also be that fast and quick and dominate every single drill and dominate the Senior Bowl. It's like, that guy would not last at all. And I don't think he's that. I really don't. But I'm a fan of him. I really am. I think he's got his own unique ability. It's just the fact that they went to the same school that's going to tie those. We need new right tackles and moving the tight end. Oh, goodness. We do need a tackle, though, chat. We do need a chat. Okay, quick announcement. I do want to do a video. I about. I was going to do one like my top needs. I just wasn't sure how to make it. Like, for example, I want to do my top 10 offseason needs, just my opinion on those. That way you guys kind of have a sense of where I was coming from. But I wasn't sure how to do it. So that may be coming soon. Trust me, offensive tackle will fall in there somewhere. It just, you know what? And I'm not going to stop doing it until we draft one. So, Brad, if you're watching, which he's probably not, but if you are, they're going to continue. Hey, and we're going to do it until Brad sees it. Backup offensive tackle. It's gonna be in there somewhere. Maybe 10, maybe 1. Hopefully it's not 1. If it's 1, actually, hopefully it is 1. Because backup tackle is your number 1 need, bro. You're pretty stacked. Is he a top 10, 15 pick now? I think he could be. Here's the only thing. Here's why I would say most of the time, unless it's a quarterback, and even quarterbacks, teams like to go prototype early. I think that's just the case. And a lot of times, teams will have like 15, 20 players, first round grades. You're going to want prototypes at that time. Now, I think we've seen exceptions, but we've seen exceptions at positions that I think are much easier to make exceptions. Like cornerback, you can make an exception for because you can just play different schemes. Most teams like the long, big, physical cornerback, but you can make exceptions to that. And quarterback is the only two positions where I feel like you legitimately make exceptions with those picks for the most part. Because quarterback, like Bryce Young or like Kyler or like Baker, and not to say it's always going to work out, but you can make exceptions. DT, I think it's difficult to make an exception for. But that's why Aaron Donald went 13. So I think that effect could allow him to get into that range. It's just that to me, he doesn't have the frame. But I will say he doesn't have the frame, man. He's not Aaron Donald, bro. He's just not. He's not that dude. But I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan. And to be honest, like if we're being real here, only like 50% of first round picks, less than 50% of first round picks even pan out. If you just got a guy that would Kancey, that worst case scenario was just a very good pass rusher, that's still technically a hit. And a lot of times, less than half your picks are actually hits in the first round as a whole. So if you just knew you were getting that, would you take that risk? Yeah. Because I think at the very minimum, you're going to get a guy that you're going to throw out there on third downs, and you're not going to find many better options on third downs that you could put between a center, that you could put over a center and say, go to work. Because his ability to find creases, his quickness off the line, his ability to adapt, his pass rush senses, change of direction. I don't know how many more guys are going to find that could do that. And he does have bull rush ability. So it's like, worst case, if that's what I took, hey, we'll do it. We'll do it. He may be a DN. I don't think he's a DN. I don't think his length can put him at DN. I get the height, but I don't think his length would put him at DN. You got to have some length to stick out there. He has rush tackles. Like he's aligned at DN, and I've seen him win occasionally. Usually what he likes to do, chat, is he does a move that he does on the interior. He does like his little hesitation hop. So he kind of like, and he does this on the interior, and I think it's very tough because it can split creases, and I think it shows up when they try to do stunts and things of that nature. But he'll kind of like attack, get a guard on his heels, and then he'll kind of give him like this hop. They'll shoot, and then he'll get back down, chop, and swipe, and he'll get to the quarterback. He likes to do that from a 3-tech by guards. That's usually what his go-to is against tackles, is he'll kind of like try to get on him, jump, and then kind of swipe down. But he doesn't have like the length, I think, for consistent wins. He does have ability, though, if he does get an edge of you, to slam on the brake, spin back, and then counter to the quarterback. So he's not like a all-time DN. On third downs, you could move him around for packages, but I don't think he can be like your normal DN. Length, he would get killed. He's already got to work a little overtime against the run on the interior. You put him on the edge, I think he'd probably get killed there, unless you were just like closing your eyes and running upfield. But he'd probably have a very big problem trying to separate and disengage from the edge, because at least on the interior, a lot of guys have shorter arms, so you can kind of match that a little bit. On the edge, he can't really match that, and in the inside, what he does, his quickness allows him to kind of offset some of the size limitations. Cornerback, linebacker, DT, guard, running back, tight end, BPA. That's your list. I would move it a little bit. I don't know exactly what mine is because I'm gonna save that for the video, but I know I'd push linebacker down, move DT up. The guard one is, I think we all know, it's solely on what happens with Vaitai. My man said Vaitai played left tackle to Super Bowl championship Eagles if we keep him. Are you just saying for versatility? Hey, versatility, we back at it. Yeah, he did. Was it left tackle? Yeah, he did. He played that stretch run. I think guard is better for him. Was it right tackle? I don't know. Guard, I think, is better. No, you're right. It's left tackle because then he moved to right tackle. I think guard is a better fit for him because I think it just allows, like, he's another one of those guys where it's like, okay, he's limited, but what he does really well, the best way to pull out his, I think, best strength, which is just mauling guys, overpowering you, in a sense like Torrance, is put him at guard. Because now he can actually move you back. He can do the power run game. He can do the zone run game and just reset the line. You put him at tackle, he doesn't have as much ability to do that, I don't think. So I think guard is the best fit for him in that sense. He's going to be a little limited in pass pro, but we do remember, like 2021, he was really good at guard. But I think you're just speaking in terms of his flexibility, which very true. But my counter to that would be when we've needed guys at tackle, the Lions never opted to put him at tackle and put someone else at guard. If you think about it, we've had opportunities where we've had injuries, and the Lions have said, well, yeah, we thought about that when we asked about moving Big V to tackle. They've never done it. They've never moved Big V to tackle and then put another guy at guard. So I don't think they would even, I don't even know if they consider that as a versatile aspect. I really think the best thing there is if you can come together agreement on a little bit of a pay cut. I just think it makes sense for both parties, because I think for a guy his age coming off injury, he might get a solid deal at guard, but I don't think it's going to be massive. I think that's his best move, you know, come back here, take a little pay cut. I think he's got, what, 1 year left on his deal, or 2? I think he's got 1 year left. I think this is his last year, maybe 2 though. Now, you know, it is 2. It's 2 years left. That's what I would do. That's what I think would be the best move for him. Witherspoon Gonzalez at 6, Simpson at 18. Oh, well, I'm with you on the corner one. You know that. You know that. If I'm gonna watch more. I'm not gonna say too much on Simpson. I'm gonna watch more. I'll watch more. What players mock to us do you want us to avoid? Ooh, that's a good question. Mock 2. I haven't looked at a lot of mock drafts. Quarterback. I don't want to take quarterback at 6. I'm not avoiding quarterback in general. I just don't want to do it at 6. So just that position as a whole at 6, I would not do that. Neither would I do tight end. Not at 6 or 18. Players. I don't know if there's a player that's been mocked that I would say I'm against. I've seen some mock drafts. I saw some yesterday, and they were like, even Tyree Wilson, who I'm not sure the Lions would go that direction, but I can understand it. So I'm like, all right, you know, I wouldn't be like completely against doing that. I don't think there's a guy at 6. I don't think there's many guys outside of quarterback and tight end that you could take at 6 that I couldn't understand. You know, because you could go corner. I'm like, all right, I get it. Yeah, you can go edge rusher. Okay, I can kind of understand it, especially if you cut Romeo. Even then though, I don't. My only pushback to that would be, I don't think Charles and Romeo both get cut. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them do, and I think Charles stays. So if that's the case, even if you cut Romeo, I don't know if the Lions would go that high, because then they would, I mean, it's never a problem to have depth, but they would have so much depth, and I think they want Charles to play. I think they like Charles enough. They want him to play, and obviously you're going to have to get James snaps. You don't want to come in this year and draft an edge and be like, well, Charles is actually a little bit better for the run, so he's above him. And then at that point, you're just like barely playing James. It's like, what the... You don't want to take a step back, I think, in terms of opportunities you're giving him to take snaps this year. So, if anything, that would be the biggest pushback, taking an edge that high. Big V taking pay cut, giving us best O-line in the league. That'd be fantastic, man. I like Big V. A lot of linebackers afraid to do a 3-cone drill. Oh, snap. Yeah, we haven't even been looking at these. Let me see. Let's see. Was there 4 guys on there? Oh, man. Hey, look at Jack Campbell, though. Okay. Hey, them Iowa boy. Hey, they testing now. They testing out. We see you. That's what I like to see. Was Hutchinson's 3-cone better than that? I think it was a little bit worse. Hey, that's what we like to see. Jack Campbell, you know what, though? I think this is big for Campbell. Because, to me, like a guy that thinks he's a little bit stiff, even in saying that, he plays so under control that, like, he plays within himself. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, like, he doesn't put himself in weird, awkward body positions that he's not very naturally athletic to recover from. But in his credit, you putting up the best 3-cone drill, which probably because nobody did it, but you putting up a really solid, I would say that's probably a solid 3-cone drill. That's not a bad look. And what, did he go through everything? He put up a really good vertical jump, right? 37.5 inch, that's explosiveness. I know teams want to see that because he doesn't look super explosive on film, but again, because he plays so fluid. You know, I'm maybe 159. That's fine. He's not that fast. So, you know, he's not that fast. Yeah, but the second, what was his 40? Wait, what was his 40? 4.65. I mean, that ain't bad. 4.65. I can rock with the 4.65 at backer. You know, when Barnes came out, we were in a 4.57. Bro, look at this though for a second. Chad, we gotta talk about this. Barnes ran on 4.57 coming out, and it was fast. Let me actually do this real quick. I need to see this. Derek Barnes, what with his oof, I can't even English. wasn't his fast? I thought his was perceived as fast, right? Okay, look. Derek Barnes ran a 4.58, and his relative athletic score was a 9.12. Running a 4.58 now would put you here. Look how many guys overshown. Henley, Hayward, Banks. Bro, look at all the dudes that are running way faster than that. It's nuts, man. That's nuts. I mean, it's like, when we drafted Barnes, that was one of the things. Like, man, he got straight line speed because he played edge, right? He could go straight line, not as much change of direction, but he could go straight line. Dog, everybody's going faster than that now, and it's like 4.56 is fast, bro. Like I 4.6, like I'm cool with that. Like that's not bad. It's not fast, but it's adequate. I can get away with that. But it's like, man, all these safeties going to linebacker, bro. It's insane. I think that's what it. I mean. Obviously, a lot of them are smaller now, but the safeties that so many guys are just going from defensive back to linebacker, or in some of these guys' case going from offense to linebacker. Like the average size of this class has to be tiny. Let's just do something. For example, I know Owen's small. I have his size on here. I don't know if this is from the combine, but I would say majority of these guys are under 230. Maybe they got bigger for this, but I would say majority of these dudes. I mean, we had an edge rusher that was like 205 pounds during the season. Like, yo, it's crazy. Hold up, I want to see this. Let me check. I thought I had it in my notes. I want to see how tall, how fat, how big Owen is. I know Owen's under two. He's like 220. Okay, Owen 225, and I think that was before the combine. So I don't know what he came out of. Let's just say 225. Trenton Simpson's probably similar range. I know Darian Williams is like 220. Let me see what they have. Simpson, wait. Do they have these measurements on there? Okay, they have them at 2. There's no way, boys, 240. Hold up. No way. Hold up. Maybe. I can't buy that. Let me see. Can we see their size? Let me click on him. There ain't no way this dude is 240 today. Hey, that's fast, though. There ain't no way dude is 240 today. 235. Was he 235? All right, I'll give it to you. All right. If he was 235, I'll give it to you. But that's big now. You know, that's big now, man. What's going on, dude? I think Abdullah's kind of small, too. Actually, I don't know about Abdullah, so let me not say that. I don't know. Abdullah, they got 237. Okay, so he's got some bop to him. I'm going to check him out. Dorian Williams, I know he's small. Bro, but 240 is like normal linebacker size, 228. I don't think these are combine weights. I don't think that's what it is. But 240 was like normal weight, bro. 240 for a Mike linebacker. It was like 245 is like the weight. Actually, we had some graphs. Here, I don't know if I can show you guys. I don't have it. But I remember like 240 to 235, like 245 would be like your normal range for a Mike linebacker. Dude, there's like no one touching 240 anymore. And then there's a guy like Jack Campbell and Noah Sewell, who, again, I think this could stand you out a little bit because 249. So it's like, okay, you're giving me 10, 15 more pounds, but you run in what? A 4.56 or 4.65 versus a 4.49. Some teams may be cool with that. Noah Sewell, he got to be 250. Yeah, Noah Sewell got to be 250. 246, okay. He looked a little slimmer this year. I don't know if that's like up to date, but he looked a little slimmer this year. They used to call Darius Leonard small, and he's great. How big is Darius Leonard, though? Because I bet he's not even small in today's NFL. And he's like an outside backer, though. There he is. Leonard size. What I got him at? 230. Yeah. Yeah, I think Swift is sticking around. I like Bijan, I do. I'm gonna still watch more of him. I like Bijan. I don't think he's perfect. He's not like the perfect prospect to me, but he's tough, bro. He's tough because he does like all the little things that you like. He wasn't the best, like the most consistent pass protector, but he can do it. He shows ball tracking ability, so it's like, there you go, boom. Okay, third down abilities there. And then on top of that, like, not the fastest running back, which a lot of times usually gets the hype. The guy that runs the 4.2 40 is a running back. I'm curious to see what he runs. Is he going to run? I'm curious to see if he does run. like, he'll probably run faster than I think what it shows on film. He'll probably run the 4.4s or something, but he doesn't look the fastest or have look like he has the best acceleration. But like the way he uses his feet, the body control that he has, the change of direction ability, like all of those things, man, it allows him to like feel leverage, flow with it. He flows so well. He's such a good zone runner, change pace. But at the same time, you know, I don't love him in traffic necessarily. You know, he gets tripped up too many times, but it's like he's just a well-rounded back, man. And that's the thing, he's always falling forward. And then you have Gibbs, right? Gibbs is probably the next back, and he's just like complete different. I'm just super fast. Gibbs is fat. Gibbs looks like J-Mo running the football, dude. All right. Anyway, we're off topic. We off topic. 220. Is that toe? Yep. Hey, see, look, 220. I can rock with 227. Cause man, 227 is still little though. Here's the thing though, Henry toe, like he doesn't show like really any stacking ability, but he's not afraid to mix it up a little bit. And he gets downhill so fast, and he gets back in your backfield so fast, man. He's so aggressive. Like, he'll beat blockers to their spot. And then occasionally you'll see him try to battle in the inside. Like, he'll battle in there. He'll try to mix it up. It's not going to be a sting. He's going to be more of kind of a dipper in the inside, which is, I mean, it's today is a lot of the NFL now, man. All right, Flintstone, appreciate you coming in here. Jack Campbell is guaranteed 110+ tackle per year. Not super fast, but rarely get fooled. Yeah, he's smart. He's one of the smarter linebackers I've seen, especially against the run. He's one of the smarter ones I've seen. Good communicator. I like him. I do. I like him. He'll get there quicker. Yeah, I mean that's what it is, man. Like that's my thing. Like the speed doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, it's like, it's cool, but it's like if you have like no feel for the run and you're just kind of waiting on it and you're sitting back and it's like, oh, here it is in my lap now. I don't want that. I want a guy that feels it, man. He's instinctive. He's there first. Like Campbell can do it from the backside or the front side. He's just there. It's like, oh, he's back on it again. Now I will say Campbell does bite a little bit on play action, but for the most part, it wasn't that bad in comparison to some of these other dudes that were just like all over the running back before. Like he just has a good flow with it. Where are we at with this stream? How long has this been rolling? I don't want to roll this too long because we're gonna be back on tomorrow, and oh goodness, I'm clicking everything right now. Hold up. Okay, no, and then tomorrow we're gonna do next position. What is next position group? Chat, is there anybody you guys want to talk about in particular before we kind of start to wrap this up? Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody I want to talk about here. Linebacker, I think we touched on a lot of these dudes. Cam Jones, I'm super intrigued by, even though he ran a slow time, which isn't great. I'm intrigued by him, though. Definitely going to check out Abdullah and Winters. Probably all of these guys. Let me see. DT. Redmond. I've seen some Redmond. I wasn't blown away by him. Let's see. My boy Pickens was handling business, though. Actually, I had some notes. Let me actually make sure I didn't miss anything, because I did make some notes on... Okay, here we go, chat. Let's do some notes real quick. Yeah, a couple notes real quick. So first up, Dan Campbell was in the booth with them at the beginning, and Dan Campbell said that he felt like the positions that they had of need in this class were deep. And it was weird because Ron Rivera came up next, or a little bit later, and he was like, usually feel like your needs the draft doesn't have. So to me, I don't know if I'm looking into this too much. I think the positions that they like might just be deep, or it's just a different perspective. Like it's a more of a opportunistic perspective. Like, no, our guys are still there. The guys that we need are in there. They're in there. We just got to find them. And I think that's just the case. Like, I understand class being deeper and things like that than others. Like quarterback class was not deep last year, but there's guys in there. I feel like there's guys for everybody. There's guys for everybody, man. Quarterback is the one position where there could be like, oh, there's nobody. Like quarterback could just have nobody for anybody because like, okay, it's not very good, but a lot of positions, I feel like a lot of times they're going to have someone for someone in there. There's going to be somebody in there for you. So I thought that was interesting. Will McDonald, this Will McDonald's probably going to get his video soon because I even like his teammate. I don't think his teammate tested very well. He didn't run the 40 though. I don't think Will McDonald ran the 40. Did his teammate ran the 40? Let me see. Did he? Wait, hold up. He's got to be in here as DN. They didn't put that dude in here as tackle. I'm struggling with this thing, man. Oh, I could search for a college? Oh, okay. Let me do that. Iowa State. Okay, there is no Iowa State option. Okay, so they must not did the drills. Or the wait. Hold up, actually. Do I have to go to my position? Wait, what? Okay, so they didn't do anything. Okay, gotcha. That's beautiful. No, Will McDonald's a dog. And I'm gonna throw this out there. I need to see the villain thing. I haven't seen it yet, man. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up on stream. But real quick, I'm gonna make a bold claim right now, and this is without doing a video first. I say Will McDonald goes round 1. I don't know if that's a bold claim. How bold do I want to go with this? I think he's the number 3 DN off the board at this point. You know what, man? Nah, you know what? I think Will McDonald goes top 15. There you go. Yeah, and he was sick today, right? That's right. He was sick, and he fought through it, did some drills. Will McDonald's a top 15 pick. That may change. For now, I think he's a top 15 pick. All right? He was in a super weird role. He they play their tight front over there in Iowa State. His teammate, I like him too because he's pretty impactful against the run. But it's like they never had a chance to just get out there and rush a tackle. I would have loved to see him get on an island with the tackle and just go, right? Because like you said, super bendy, the spin counter, and I think what's going to happen is you're going to get him, and it's going to be like he's just kind of doing things in place. Like he's going to do spins for no reason. You're like, why is he doing that? So I think his pass rush plan may need time to just get a sense of playing that role, but someone's going to draft him. They're going to stick him at edge and just love his athleticism because he's a nuts athlete, man. So I'm going to say right now he's a top 15 pick. Okay, Ojomo or Ohomo, a guy that I like. I think I liked him for the Lions, but I just think we have that position kind of filled, especially if Kaminsky comes back out of Texas. And his nose tackle played as well, but he's just more of just a pure sitting nose. However, I thought his changing direction looked a little rough, which again makes sense to the film. He's more of a straight line kind of guy. Mustapher, I said he had some balance issues. I thought Redmond had a really nice day. I thought he was solid in every drill. Jalen Redmond obviously tested with good scores. I thought he was solid in the drills. And he showed some pop on film too. Jacqueline, the defensive tackle or nose tackle out of LSU. I thought he had a little issues changing direction. What else do we got here, man? Okay, well, speaking of it, Coburn, his teammate out of Texas, I liked how he did the bags today. I thought Benton looked really smooth in a lot of the field drills that they did. I'm not sure if he was looking down at one of them, but I thought he did good in the field drills. Dexter, I actually thought Dexter, who went through the hoop drill, which Dexter's a weird one to me, man. Gervon Dexter, because of the way that he plays in that defensive front for Florida. I don't think he has the twitch, but I thought he really had one of the best hoop drills. One of the best, where they kind of do the figure 8. I thought he was one of the best at that. Meanwhile, I didn't think Cameron Young did very well in that drill. What else do I have here? Okay, I'm not sure what this is. Oh, yeah. Will McDonald's change of direction. It's so smooth. Yeah, man, I mean, I just touched on that. Oh, interesting. So, not interesting, but I did hear this today. The Lions met with Jaden Reed, the wide receiver out of Michigan State. I'm going to end with this, or I'm going to kind of give you guys this thought. The more and more I think about it, I would not be shocked if the Lions, number one, let Chark go. They let him walk because the deal's too big. I think you want to get him back, but number one, Chark walks in free agency. I'm starting to lean this way. Not what I would do, but what I'm kind of feeling. Chark walks in free agency. Lions draft a receiver that has, or maybe they go sign one, but a guy with like this size and speed, meaning Josh can come in as a starter. J-Mo, they kind of bank on being the one, and then maybe they go draft somebody. I would not be shocked at this point. I wouldn't. I would bring back Chark. I hope they do, but I wouldn't be shocked at this point if that happens, because I keep going back to the Lions last year felt good with Chark coming in the year, knowing that they didn't think J-Mo was going to play much. And even Brad said that again. They didn't think J-Mo was going to play much. They're just glad he got playing time at the end of the year. They were cool with saying we have Jamison Williams is not going to play, but DJ Chark, Josh Reynolds with Cephas. They were cool with that. So I would not be completely shocked if they came in and saying, okay, J-Mo, it's your turn to take off. We feel good with Josh being able to start because he's under contract for another year, and we'll draft a receiver on top of that. The biggest concern I would have then is obviously J-Mo needs to take steps because, like Brad said, he needs to hold up his end of the bargain, which could be him kind of putting it out there like, dude, we're going to ask a lot of you this year. My biggest pushback to that, number one, Lions are going to move him around a lot. They're going to have to find an outside receiver if that's the case. And the biggest thing was you're really relying on J-Mo to take that step because Chark can win and he will win on the outside. It's just, do they want to give a long-term deal to a guy with an injury history? And you kind of know every year he's probably going to miss 3 to 4 games. I mean, it's just kind of been the case. I like him a lot. I'm just saying it's kind of been the case. So that would be my take, is I'm kind of getting the sense that Lions may go that direction of drafting a receiver with some speed, upside on the outside, maybe mid, rolling with, and it could be higher than that, or later, rolling with Josh and J-Mo, St. Brown, especially if they draft a tight end. I'll say that, especially if they draft a tight end. Because I think Swift and Jamal's coming back, especially if they draft a tight end. Maybe that's a receiver that they sign in free agency, a different one. But that's kind of where I'm starting to feel like this could go. I know their main goal is to bring everybody back, but I'm getting that sense. I'm getting that sense that it's possible. See, I want to bring back Chark because I think the Lions, first off, all playoff teams usually have a really good number 2. They're not paying J-Mo. And I think while they're both big and fast, DJ Chark is the guy that I'm saying, bro. Like, number one, he can win on the outside all the time. So if you want to get creative and put J-Mo in the slot, find matches with him, do all that fun stuff, he's always going to get the attention. You put Chark out there, here's what I want to do. Because I know I'm making 2 cases at once and I'm confusing everybody. But for the people that are in here right now, let me hit y'all with this. I'm throwing a number at you right now, and I was going to save this for my video. But guess what? You're getting that exclusive, okay? Y'all getting that exclusive number representation here. Here we go. This is for DJ Chark. When DJ Chark played last season for the Lions, the Detroit Lions averaged 30 points per game. When they played without DJ Chark, the Lions averaged basically 20 points per game. There was basically a 10-point difference to when DJ played versus when DJ did not play. When Josh played, they averaged 25 points per game. I think that's the numbers on top of my head. I have it wrote down. 30 versus 20. So just to throw it out there to you guys, they average 30 points a game when DJ plays. Now, you're going to assume that he may not play every game, but I think it's an interesting stat in the case of DJ Chark is that the impact that he had. And you got to keep in mind, a lot of that was without J-Mo. Because when J-Mo came in, Josh's snaps started to go down. It was kind of DJ and Chark, but a lot of that was kind of just Chark. So, because you did have games where Josh held his own, but there was also games like Dallas where he was there and he really wasn't there. And that's saying DJ in the games that he legitimately played, not the game that he played, 16% of the snaps. The games that he legitimately played, you scored 30 a game. So I just think that's interesting. And that's a reason to bring him back. I hope we bring him back. That's what I'll say about that. I hope we can get a deal done. I think Lions will make a statement by bringing everyone back no matter what. Well, I'm down with it. Hey, look, certain guys, bro. Hey, y'all know the guys that I like. Hey, I'm bringing them back. Please, hey, I hope they bring DJ back. I think that's a good stat. That's a good stat, man. Hey, didn't we average 40 when Cephas? Don't do that, Jordy. Look. No, we did not because Cephas played like 4 games. But he never really... I think Cephas never played a game with over 50% of his snaps. What was the game Cephas played the most in was, I think, Miami? Was it Miami? I don't know. Man. It was Miami or something. I don't remember what it was. Okay, so hold on to that stat. But I thought that was interesting. And we'll probably do a video at some point where we go through all the stuff. I did think though Trenton Simpson had a good day. I thought he looked very smooth. Through the wave drill, I thought he looked really good. So his change of direction ability. So yeah, I mean he's a good athlete. I never doubt that. He said Benito Jones better come back. Hey, Benito's underrated a little bit, dog. Benito's got, bro, you get a guy with that explosive, with that size. I'm saying it's hit and miss, but when it's hit, it's fun. When he has a good rep, you're like, dang, that's a heck of a play, man. Who is that guy? So, and he's an exclusive rights free agent. So, regardless of what scheme I'm trying to play, I'm definitely picking that tender and saying I'm at least giving him a shot. I'm at least giving dude a shot to just see what it looks like. All right. Wait. Let me make sure. Watch Calijah just be the number 1 wide receiver. Calijah's a dog. Calijah's a dog. And man, I love Calijah Raymond, man. Anyway, chat. I thought that's really all I got, man. Defensive line, edge rushers. Obviously my guys that I'm intrigued by. Ali Gay from LSU. My defense line standouts. Ali Gay from LSU was one of the top ones. I'm so intrigued by this dude. Trust me, man. I'm going to come back and probably do a video or something on this guy. Because he's got an ability to like shift his weight, which is so weird. Like for a guy that looks like the way that he looks like he's built, his depth that he gets with his first step, the way that he shifts weights on offensive tackles, it's like it stuns them, man. It like stuns them in their tracks. It's so tough. So his lateral explosiveness is there. He might get a video at some point. Adetomiwa? I don't remember how to say a dude's name. Yeah, he had a really good day today, and some things I really like. Some things, I don't love in his game. I think the pass rush is still like Cancey. I think is there as a pass rusher. I don't think is there right now consistently as a pass rusher, but I was very impressed by his ability to play the run on the inside. He came in at 282. And also Cancey, by the way, apparently he's 6'1". So they say he was 6 foot. Now he's 6'1". All right, Cancey, put a little height. I see you. Those were 2 guys. Obviously, those 3 stuck out on the defensive line. Let me see what else I had. I had some notes about Tuli here. I want to say he was one of my standouts, but yeah, I wouldn't say he's one of my standouts, but yeah, the guy's very agile. He can win the edge. He has some dip to him, which you notice, especially upper body dip, flexibility within his game. He has a bull rush ability to get into the tackle's chest. He can really convert speed to power. Like he's got good movement skills. He doesn't look 290. He does not look 290, which he weighed in at. I'm not sure when that was, but he doesn't look that big. But I did question his power for sure. Lower body power against the run, and then what was that? What does that say? Oh, the leg drive kind of just ends. I think it's some of his bull rush attempts, but he can get that initial push, and some of the speed to power there. Who else stood out for defensive linemen? Go through my notes here. I want to say, I don't know if Keon White stood out, but he was definitely someone that I'm intrigued by just in general. Derek Hall stood out today. I think Derek Hall out of Auburn. I think Derek Hall is probably going to be a day 2 pick because Derek Hall is going to give someone a change of pace in today's league. His ability to close on the quarterback, the sheer power he brings is disgusting. And I think when you have reps of a guy literally walking back a Alabama offensive tackle and setting him in the quarterback's lap multiple times in the same game, you're like, dude, that guy's got something. We can do some, and today so his drills, he showed some agility to that. Now, I didn't think he looked as stiff as seemingly what the commentators thought he did when I've watched him, but that burst that he has, and he knows what he does, and he does what he does well. He does what he does well. You know what I'm saying? Who else did I have in here? Oh shoot. Okay, he's not a standout. I have Robert in here. This was the Georgia teammate of Nolan, who had the big day today, Nolan Smith. The teammate actually I thought was pretty interesting. He was a guy that I thought had lateral movement with ease. He doesn't even pop up in his reps when he changes his direction, so you get a lot of sidestep work from him. He has slither, so he really works well in small spaces. And that's his go-to, is he wins with sidestep. So I thought his teammate actually kind of popped a little bit because I know Nolan gets the attention, but his teammate, Robert, is it Robert Bear Jr.? It's not Bear. His last name ain't Bear. Come on, man. Hold up. This dude's last name is not Bear. I'm not going to say that and just let that slide. Oh my God, Mike. What's up, Mike? Robert Beal. Okay, yeah, it's not Beal. But look at this. Bro ran a 4.4840. Like, don't let a guy like this go under the radar. He ran 1.62 10-yard. Okay, that's not bad. I think that's fair, though. He didn't look as explosive. Like, Nolan looked weird. Nolan didn't even have the best first snap timing. But as soon as the tackle moved, he was really good at reacting to that. His acceleration was elite, man. He had elite acceleration off the line. So it wasn't always the first step. It was the acceleration. It was the acceleration where I thought that guy was crazy. Here we go. Actually, he had ability to drop into coverage, extremely loose in his hips. We talk about the flexibility standpoint. And again, the closing ability as well. He'll probably go round 1. He'll probably go to like a team like the Packers. And again, I think for us it'd be nice to get a guy with a little bit of different skill set for that position, but we'll see what they do with that one. Who else do I want to hit on here? My man Owen. Oh yeah, what I didn't like with Owen, and maybe he looked a little bit better in his drills, the linebacker that ran the 4.39, is that when he drops in the zone, he covers like no ground. Like he covers like no ground in zone coverage. Like he's flowing, but he's not like covering any sort of ground. It's just like taking these little steps. So and also I don't know if it was him. Who was it? Oh, it was Henry To'oTo'o. There was a play I was watching, man. And this is, it's not all perfect, right? I thought he had very good instincts for a lot of linebackers that I've seen. It wasn't all perfect. Like communication probably could improve there because there were times where like guys would just run routes right in front of him and there was no communication with him. But anyways, that's besides the point. My man said, we talking about how much does Beal weigh? He can't be that big. He's got to be similar to Nolan Smith. He looks similar. Let's see what they have him on here. He looks similar. I actually don't know. Wait, maybe I have his size. Do I have his size? Let me see. Robert Beal. I didn't write his size. I always write his size. 6'4", 250 is what they got him on here. Yeah. I mean, and look at this. 34.5-inch arms, chat. Big hands. He's got better size, I think, than Nolan Smith, right? Like, this was the dude that caught my eye because I know Nolan Smith's going to get the attention. But dude caught my eye by his film, man. Because Smith, like, he looked good at what he was good at. He was so low to the ground. Right, he's just a smaller athlete. He was so low to the ground that he gave tackles problems because it's almost like they couldn't block him. Like when he would slant inside, they're like over top of the dude. It's like I can't do nothing with that. But I'm just saying, man, Robert Beal Jr., I think he's interesting. Oh, I know it was perfect. Hey, look, I had to take Hungry Panda. I see you in the chat. I had to throw that out there. I had to. I was like, who was that? Oh, it had to be Henry To'oTo'o. I had to put that in there, man. My guy might be becoming a member. I appreciate you. Hey, man, you been a member. I know you been a member. My guy, you got that GOAT next to your name. Okay, but anyways, guys, Robert Neal Jr., keep an eye on that dude, man. I know Nolan Smith guy, but keep an eye on that dude. What did you say? Sanders is also 6'5". Oh, no, Sanders is I'm telling you, as of now, Sanders to me, I think is the first softball linebacker up the board. That would be my prediction. I think he is. The only thing Simpson does have going for him is he's got better size than I thought, and he's a little bit taller than like a Nakobe Dean was last year. But I would say Sanders goes first. They're showing Mike Morris right now. Like Mike Morris, he's weird, bro. He's just not like a twitchy defensive end at all. Who else do I want to hit on? Like I said, I think Derek Hall had one of the best days today. Derek Hall he checked all the boxes, man. He's got upside. Okay, linebacker Jack Campbell. I want to say he like we just talked about the 40 times, so I don't know if he like had a great day today, but I like his film. I like Jack Campbell's film. I really do. I don't know how early he's going to go. Maybe he's one of those guys that falls down the board just because of what teams are looking for in terms of speed. And again, run defense is never one of the top traits from the scouts that I've, never one of the top traits that we graded was, run defense. It was never one of the most important ones for linebacker or for off-ball linebacker. It was never that anymore. So I would assume, that he could fall. But someone that's going to want to, and here's the thing. I think there's a difference too. Like I know Hungry Panda's guy out of Missouri. Can't think of the guy's name. The linebacker. Remember that was your guy coming out. But guys like that, like they were still on the smaller side, straight line speed. He doesn't have that. So would I be shocked that this dude somehow fell to early round 3 or late round 2? Nah, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at that. I could see it happening, man. Because he's limited. Like they don't on third down do much with him in coverage. I mean, he communicates well. He doesn't do a lot in coverage. And the thing is like a Henry To'oTo'o, even though he kind of just sticks inside the box, even in coverage, he still, because of his fluidity, team will like more in zone, I think, than what you get out of Campbell. The one thing Campbell has going for him is his size in zone coverage. What else? I missed a comment in there, so I apologize for whose comment I missed. I know I missed something in there. We talked about Dorian Williams a little bit. And, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Those are just some of my thoughts. Again, I don't know everybody, so I apologize. Like, I can't tell you about every single person that worked today. I told you about a lot of the guys that I know about. To that, I'm going to continue to learn about these guys. And we're going to learn more, and we're going to follow the combine. Hey, does anybody know in the chat who goes tomorrow? Like, who's they haven't ranked 284. That's disrespectful. But, hey, look, I got to watch more. I've only seen a couple of his games. But 284, that sounds like a UDFA pickup to me. I'm just saying, round 6, we got James Houston, or maybe it was round 5. Chad, does anybody know which positions go tomorrow? Appreciate you coming in, Kevin C. Hey, I know. I hear you. I don't know what positions go tomorrow. Oh, defensive backs, right? Ooh, hey, yo, if it's defensive backs, I'm fired up. I'm fired up for tomorrow, man. Well, we got corners. We got safeties. Ooh, chat. Oh, tomorrow's going to be a good one. Ooh, tomorrow's going to be a good one. Do they got a list on here? Because I know they interviewed my guy Gonzalez, and he was like, man, I'm doing these drills. He wants to knock it out of the park. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. This is going to be fun. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm here for this. I think this is tomorrow. Oh, there's some dogs, man. I know a lot of the corners coming out, too. Safety, maybe not as much. I'm going to have to, I'm still in work in progress on safety. But because safety film is like you really, safety film is something that I have, but it's very specific. So not as deep on that one, but I'm very excited for corners. All right, so DBs tomorrow. Well, with that being said, what's good, Dion? Don't know if you already covered him, but how did Noah Sewell perform today? Didn't get to watch it. I honestly thought Noah Sewell looked better than my personal anticipation was about him. Now, in fairness to him, I didn't really know what to expect because I haven't watched a lot of Noah Sewell from this year. Before, I watched a couple games, but to me, his movement skills looked a lot better than I thought it would look in the field drills. I can put how he tested out on here. We can put that on here real quick. Oregon. Let's see. Did he test? Oh, he must not have tested. That sounds right, actually. I don't know if he did test. Okay, so I don't think he actually. Oh no, he did. Wait. Hold up. What am I looking at? One sec, chat. I'm not sure what. Oh, I'm on participants. That's why. My bad. But no, I really think, especially for a guy his size, 4'6", 440, kind of in that Jack Campbell range. That's something that I could anticipate. The straight line speed. But probably the biggest thing for me with him, man, is that I thought he actually. Oh, he didn't do the 3-cone. Well, that's unfortunate. He should have did that. Does anybody do bench press anymore, chat? Or is that like not a thing anymore? Like no one does bench press? Who did the most bench press? I'm curious on this one. Wait, no one did bench? Did they not do it yet? Or is that tomorrow? Okay, that must be tomorrow. That must be like later on. Point is, dude can move a little bit, and I didn't anticipate that. So he's a guy that I need to watch more of because I really do feel like he's going to be more versatile in terms of suitors than I thought he would be. So and Noah Sewell could play the run as well, and he's got stack and shit upside as well. So he's got some of that flow to him. I thought his field drills were better than what I anticipated. When I thought I was gonna see was better than I thought, but the numbers probably didn't test out the best for him there, at least the 40 times. Just because everybody's running like freaking 4.2s at this point. Like everybody's 220 pounds. This dude's coming in here at 245, and he's like, hey man, I ain't got it like that. But he's physical. He is physical. You can see that when you watch him. Benches tomorrow. Okay, good look. Some run a 4.26. Man, everybody's running fast. They're comparing Drew Sanders to Fred Warner and Tremaine Edmonds. Ooh. I mean, if he was a better tackler, maybe. I need to see more from off ball in terms of pure run defender. Like, my vibe for him was he's got a really nice pursuit to the ball, and at the same time, he's like better at playing blocks than you would anticipate from a guy at his frame. But what I do like is obviously his closing ability. And on top of that, if he was a more consistent tackler, if he was like a guy that consistently tackled properly, I think guys would fall in love. But he leaves so much out there. He gives up big plays because he misses so many tackles. His tackling form is kind of a disaster. It's like he just flies at people. So he is upside in that sense. But upside at this point, I think for this class, because there's not a lot of there's no Devin White. That's actually one thing I was thinking about. There is not really a top linebacker this year. So because of a Micah Parsons coming out, I think Drew Sanders is a top backer right now. I really do. But there's not really a standout in any sense where it's like, man, this guy's 6'2", 230, one of the fastest backers, strong, plays to run well, coverage. There's not that this year. So I think that the traits will separate him a little bit. Hey, 4.64 ain't bad. That ain't bad. You actually care, just like you hated Ed. Just like you hated Ed and cried when Stafford moved to LA. Love it. Yo, that was a tough one. That was that was a tough one. I still love my guy Stafford though. You know, we still got love for I still got love for Stafford, man. That's my guy. Man, I still got love for the dude. But definitely happy with Jared. Got a lot of love for Jared too. Especially, you know, all those people around Jared. A lot of love for all of them, man. Gervon Dexter looks super athletic. Let me check on his scores real quick. What am I in here? Oh, gosh. Wait. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Yeah, and that was one of the things, like, okay, 1.8, that's not bad. That was one of the things, like, he doesn't show that on film. Like, to me, or I wouldn't say he doesn't show it on film. The play style doesn't really fit that necessarily. So, yeah, like, look at that, 31-inch vert. That's not bad. Like, the film doesn't show that exactly by his play style. Like, Keanu Benton's kind of a nose tackle. I thought Keanu Benton, I would say he kind of looked like what he was. He kind of looked like what he was. You know, he's got good hands. He sheds well. He just needs to have a consistent base. But not the most twitchy athlete in the first step. But let me see. Yeah, like for me, like one of my biggest knocks with Gervon, and actually I should have paid more attention to him. Agility-wise, like I don't see much agility in his game really at all. Much shake in his game. I see him more of kind of like I don't really see him as that really at all. So, but what he did have that honestly, in fairness to him, I think some of this part of play style that a lot of guys don't have, he has legitimate ability to hold against double teams really well. A lot of guys, it's either projection or it's, you know, he really can hold double teams. So credit to him. His arm length is not very good. And I know Brad Holmes says he wants arm length, but he never really goes after it. So he could be, but I don't see it. I don't think his play style fits line, so I don't think we'll do it. But I don't know. I'm going to watch more on Gervon. I'm going to watch more. Because I just think he's one of those guys you got to watch a lot of to really get a good feel of. So I'm going to watch more of the dude. I'll leave it at that. But he can hold double teams. So for a guy that's 310, he can really sit down over a center and hold up against two blocks. Really much better than most noses or DTs can. You should go through the combine drills IRL, make it a video. Bro, I'm telling you, I thought about it. I want to. I'm going to see if my knee gets a little bit better. I jacked up my foot/knee somehow. And, like, I've tried to play basketball on it, but I can't really, like, push on the leg. So, if that starts to feel better, you might have that coming. It may come after the combine, but otherwise it would be awful because I can't really run. So, it would look terrible. It'd look terrible. I'm gonna be rusty, though. I'm going to be rusty, but we'll see. If I get a little healthy, you know what I'm saying? I'm on some load management right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things, man. I just need some time. Need some time off. Miley Smith might win bench. That would not shock me. Yeah, that would not shock me. Mozzie is jacked. I actually, out of all these guys, though, real quick, before we wrap this up, appreciate everybody that's in here. Real quick, hey, Jalen Carter, yo, that dude is so strong, dude. That dude is so strong, though. Jalen Carter is incredibly strong through his entire frame. So maybe not just bench rest, but dude just throws people. But you're right, Mozzie isn't even explosive, and he's just like, boop, push you back. He probably do really well in that. I would like to see what Siaka Ika does. If he did that, that'd be interesting. Who else would probably kill that? DJ Dale? Zach Pickens? Zach Pickens, I think, got a little more lower body pop. But regardless, hey, excuses already. Yo, I'm saying you got to put them out there. You got to plant the seed. If you run a 40, you're doing I will do. Okay, I'll do the one-legged combine. I'll do it. You send me a 40. I'll do the combine, and I'll put it in the video, and we'll make that a video. All right. Hey, chat. If anybody wants to do a combine drill, meaning you want to do like the wave drill, meaning you want to do like the D-line drill. You don't have to do them all, but if you want to do like a cornerback drill that you see tomorrow, if you want to do a quarterback drill where like maybe they're, you know, trying to throw certain routes, whatever it may be, if y'all want to send me any kind of combine type of drill, send it over. dosebegaming@gmail.com. Send it to me on Instagram. Send it to me any way you can. All right, and I can make a video, throw it in with mine, and then we can do our own little fan combine, and then we'll. And then we can put rankings up. We can put we gotta set it though. If we do a bench press, we ain't doing 225, dog. I can't do 225, dog. If we do a bench press, we might be doing the bar. Hey, how many of the bar can you do? So if anybody sends me a bench press thing, dog, do not send me you doing 225. Send me something realistic, and then I can do it too. But if you send me 225, dog, I'm just leaving it by itself because I ain't about that life, man. I ain't that guy. I mean, Hungry Panda might be that guy. He's trying to beat Mozzie in the 40. Oh, he said he couldn't run 40 feet. The RAS, yes, we'll come up with RAS scores. Hey, we'll input the information. They'll give us some RAS scores back. That's a great idea. I think my arm length is pretty long. I got them Tyree Wilson arms, bro. Y'all don't know this. I got massive wingspan, dude. I do. I got really long arms. I don't know what they are, but I know they're long, dude. So I would like to see where that goes because that's going to help my draft stock. I really do think so. You know what I mean? Like, my ability to just, like, get hands up in passing lanes, would be very beneficial. If the quarterback was, like, 5 foot tall, then it would be beneficial. But anyway, Chad, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. Or if I was, like, fast at all or, Anyways, we're going to wrap this up. Appreciate everybody coming in. Tomorrow we'll be back. Probably similar time. We're going to talk DBs. Maybe we'll go earlier, but probably similar time. And talk about that day. So that's the plan. If it changes, I'll put it up in the community section. But we're going to wrap it, man. Appreciate everybody coming in. And have a good night. Do you think Benton is strictly a nose, or do you think he plays some 3-tech as well? I mean, I think he's primarily a nose tackle, and that's mainly because I don't think he has kind of the explosiveness to be a consistent 3. Now, I guess it depends what you're asking. If you were asking him to, like, hold point of attack a little bit more, play the line of scrimmage a little bit more, I think he could sit at 3 for certain reps. Like, yeah, you could rotate 2 wide, 3. You could do things like that. But if you're really looking for, like, a guy that could actually be explosive and be a consistent 3, I don't think that's him. Because even from a nose tackle, he doesn't show that. So from 3, you won't see it at all. Personally, I don't think you will. You have bigger hands than Goff. Oh, hey, that'll help your RAS score. If you're going in as a quarterback, that's the thing. All right, we're gonna end it. We out. See y'all tomorrow. Hey, I don't know where my outro ever is, but we're gonna find it. We just gave up on the beats too. That's unfortunate, man. Oh goodness.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.